If you could change your Nerdthusiast Podcast, would you? Welcome to the Nerdthusiast Podcast. I am your co-host, Richard Eiley, here with my co-host, Matthew Morosi.
No soup for you.
Okay, that's good. Some soup nachi?
Yeah.
Nazi.
Nachi?
Nachi? You ever have a nachi come in your house? All right. Welcome to a new year, 2020, Matt.
Indeed.
2020, the first podcast of the year. We're back from hiatus, but not for long.
There'll be another hiatus.
There's going to be another hiatus coming up. We're going to talk about that soon in a second. We do have a great one for you today, though. We're talking about our favorite games of the decade now that this year has wrapped up. Excited about that.
Indeed.
We got Vince Zampella taking over DICE LA. We also have this door open today. Dogs might be coming in and out. We're trying something.
Hearing some extra noises, but we're trying something different.
There's Dakota. He's walking in. Probably can't see him. He's just saying hi. We're doing we want a different energy for today's podcast. So before
there may be dogs coming in.
Yeah, it's a concerted effort to make this podcast more dynamic, and we decided for this. This is intended. Every weird noise you hear, we want it there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vince Zampella taking over DICE LA. We got IGN's new review scale. They're changing that up.
Yep.
We have shit or the shit Xbox Games Gold and PlayStation Plus edition. What else? Predict the Metacritic.
Is back.
Matt. Am I going to be like this all podcast?
Richard's having his beer for the first time on the podcast.
It's fucking me up.
I remember think the first show you might have.
This is the first show recorded podcast or anything that I'm having a beer.
That you've had one on camera.
Yeah, because usually I feel like it fucks me up.
Nah, you're fine.
I feel great.
He was stuttering before this.
Exactly.
So
the beer is
supposed to help.
Exactly, Matt. Enabling
that's at least my theory.
We have a Predict the Metacritic for the first 4 months where we go through Metacritic games and guess their Metacritic before they come out. I'm excited about that. And then we got Rediscovering Retro. Me and Matt played Kid Chameleon today.
Fuck yeah, we did.
It's pretty cool. And then we're going to talk about what we've been playing and watching over the break. Super excited about that. A lot of stuff there. But Matt, we got to do housekeeping first.
Yes, some important housekeeping.
Matt, am moving to Big Bear in weeks.
And then that's, it's a little bit further away. He's pretty close by right now.
Yeah.
So Big Bear.
It's up a mountain and it's 2 hours away. And that kind of throws a hamper in our recording because we'd like to do this locally.
We do. We prefer to do it locally.
I think the energy it brings is great. I think it's one of our unique advantages that we have over other new podcasts that we come together. We have video of us together. I think it's just really good.
Right. And we can play stuff together sometimes and things like that.
Exactly.
So we want to keep this going. We don't want to. We could do things remotely, but we really are going to try to avoid that. However, that will bring about us doing things individually and posting those to the channel as well.
Yeah,
and the sites and the podcasts and all that stuff.
Yeah, so going forward, it looks like we'll do more individual content where we're like, I want to do some Let's Plays maybe or video essays on certain things. So we'll try and do stuff like that and upload that to the channel, like the YouTube channel. So definitely follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube. And as for the podcast itself, we still want to do it together.
Right.
Since I'm only 2 hours away, we're hoping to get together maybe once a month. To do maybe 1 or 2 podcasts, stack those up and have those spread out. So in terms of the schedule of the podcast, that might be slowed down a bit. You might not be getting as much, but hopefully we'll make up with individual content that we do remotely with ourselves.
We probably won't have a podcast together for about a month or two, depending on how things go.
Yeah,
There's no set in stone date. It's just going to be all right, we're good to go now.
Yeah, I have to get a new job up there. I have to get situated in my new home and all that.
It's got to get his herpes taken care of.
Got to get my herpes taken care of. My herpes are out of control. They're usually all over my lips. We CGI'd the herpes off my face today, so that's costing a lot of money and a lot of time.
Luckily, George Lucas was available to change things. So
he helped us. If I look fucking crazy and have a lightsaber or there's Bespin City behind me, that's all Lucas. That was his idea. I like it.
Yeah. He said if we get rid of the herpes on your face, we have to replace it with something else. Yeah. So he just started doing shit.
The herpes, Richard, they draw the eyes to your mouth. So if there's nothing to draw your eyes to, we're going to need something behind you. And I was like, George, whatever you got to fucking do, dude. Leave me alone.
This whole backdrop. Yeah. We should just get a green screen for the next podcast. Yeah. Do all green screen bullshit
just a bunch of
us.
Naboo, just a bunch of shit we stole from Star Wars and put it It's just episode 4 playing behind us.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, that's
at least it's not episode 1. God, that would be even worse. Like how awful all that CG looks now.
That's a better idea. Actually.
Oh my
it should
God.
be the worst one. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm thinking hopefully we'll get back into like a regular schedule again by February, mid to late February. It might take longer. It really depends on how long it takes for me to kind of just get back into a regular routine in my regular personal life. And once that's good, me and Matt can schedule like days where I can, come down once a month and make sense of all that stuff. So
yeah, we're just playing it by ear. So don't hold us, hold us anything against us or anything. We're just gonna see how it goes and take it from there.
Yeah, we don't have any like really mean viewers who get mad at us.
No, that's like 20 people might regularly watch this.
For 3 weeks, I didn't upload the audio to our Podbean, and no one said anything.
I said something.
You said something multiple times. I was hard to get a hold of this break. Sorry.
Richard, if you don't know, Richard usually does all of our editing and everything, which is going to also be changing. I'm going to be trying to dip my toes into the editing pool, so I would have posted it and fixed it myself had I known how to.
If he knew how to. Matt had the will and I had the knowledge. Us not having either, or both of us not having both was a problem. So we're going to try and rectify that going forward too.
Yep.
All right. So Matt, we got to start with our no Gen X this week. I have yet to...
Gen X. I wasn't ready for that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, our favorite game of the decade is replacing that instead. I didn't want to like start a game where we're keeping score. And
the hiatus comes up.
Yeah, the hiatus comes up. Are we gonna keep that score?
That makes
going?
sense. I'm fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I can bring up one really quick.
That's fine.
Are you sure?
This is fine.
I can Google something.
That's too much work.
Deo, Misa Deo, come Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Is it from Beetlejuice?
It's at the end of Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you? It's called Deo, I believe is the name of the song.
Yeah, I know the song.
Matt wants that one too.
It's Beetlejuice song.
That's the name of it.
That's right. It's named Beetlejuice song.
This podcast is off the rails. Beer was a bad choice, but I'm happy about it. Matt, our favorite games of the decade.
Yes.
10 years have passed since 2010. And we're here at the onset of a new decade. Before we jump into our favorite games of the decade, I want to ask you what you thought of the general last 10 years for video games.
They were shite. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on.
They were pretty good. There was some banger years for Matt personally.
Yeah.
2019 was an kind of year.
Okay.
And there was multiple years that were kind of like that.
I'm hearing a lot of this that people are like not impressed by 2019.
I'm not saying there were not good games. There clearly were good games. I'm saying there were no Matt games. There was very few Matt games in 2019.
That's fair.
That I gave two shits about.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
And there's more years that were like that as well, which I'd have to go back and look at them all to remember, which I just did recently, but you'd think I'd remember, but I don't.
Matt, your memory could be a little spotty sometimes.
Oh, man.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Got early onset dementia since I've been like 20.
Yeah. It's all that acid you dropped in college.
I wish. Never did that.
No, you never done acid?
No.
Neither have I. I don't know why I'm saying it like I've done it before. I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yet. But I have herpes. So I think it, like, for me, the last 10 years, I don't know. I think right now, where we're at, especially the last like 3 years in particular, were some of the greatest years in gaming ever. I think this decade started out kind of rocky in like the 2010s, and 2012 in particular was, I think, we were looking at like the year
2013 was amazing though.
2013 was pretty darn good. Yeah, I would agree. But 2012 was shit. 13 was not great either.
2013 was a great year.
2014 was not great. There were some great Wii U games that really saved that year, but aside from that, if you
that was the year I was going through. It was like, I don't care about bad. This year. And you're like, oh, there's Wii U games. Like, yeah, but I didn't have a Wii U back then, so I didn't play any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Most people think 2014 is a terrible year because no one did have a Wii U, because why would you? That thing's a terrible piece of hardware.
I almost had one. I gave it to my nephew. I was like, I don't want this.
Get this weird fucking thing. It's too much shit. But I think it was the decade as a whole, though. Like after once 2015 hit, I think like games just started to come out. We just saw some really, really cool stuff. But I think it's been a good decade. I think it's been a phenomenal decade. Specifically like 2017, when you look at stuff like Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I feel like developers.
That was both 2017, another banger year.
Yeah, 2017 is probably my favorite year, period, from this last decade. I think there was just so many good stuff, or so many good things. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's been great. I've been happy about it. You have your favorite games of the decade. How should we do this?
Why don't we go back and forth? We just picked favorite games. We're not ranking these or anything like this. I'm gonna throw out some honorable mentions.
Same.
Why don't we start with our honorable mentions?
Okay.
Because these were all close. So
I like that.
I'm just gonna throw mine into a pot, and then you can throw yours into a pot, or we can go back and forth. How many honorable mentions do you have?
3.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
2 for you, 1 for me, and then we go back and forth. Okay, that sounds good. I like it.
All right, I'll throw out my first, just randomly too. There's no particular order to these. Doom 2016 was probably my favorite first-person shooter in like a decade.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Phenomenal. Like I was so. The reason why Doom was so impactful for me, is because I saw like previews and stuff. I was like, whatever, another Doom game. Yeah,
for sure. I was in the same boat.
And then like right before it came out, like everybody started saying, no, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And the campaign in particular is really good. They people were like, the multiplayer, but I didn't care. I just wanted to play the campaign.
Sucked. Well, here's the thing. The first time I played Doom 2016 was they released a demo for the multiplayer. And I was like, oh, this game, Bethesda, you fucked up. And then they refused to do early copies for people to review.
Yeah, nobody was talking about the campaign right away.
This game is going to be shit. They fucking botched it. They're not releasing review copies. This multiplayer is a joke. I was like, this game is a travesty before it's even come out. And then that game came out.
Yeah, I ended up pre-ordering it late. Like, usually I'm on top of stuff, and like I will pre-order games that like I know that I'm going to want to play.
Yeah.
And this game, once I found out how good it was, like it was like only like a day or two before it came out. Once I started hearing like it's fucking amazing,
things started to come through the grapevine.
I pre-ordered it and picked it up, and I was like, holy shit, my god!
Yeah, the music, the soundtrack on that fucking game is insane. Mick Gordon just tears it up.
Oh, dude,
dude,
music is so great,
insane. And yeah, the campaign was it just felt so good. Like I think one of my favorite things. My favorite quotes that came out about that game is like, in every other shooter you play right now, you're stuck in a room with a bunch of enemies. But in Doom 2016, the enemies are stuck in a room with you. And I'm like, oh, that's
the greatest Doom quote.
It's so good.
I don't know who said that, but that was great.
But it is perfectly exemplifies what that game's about. You're chasing these motherfuckers down. They're scared of you, and it feels like it. Like, it feels like you are
and it's so
the
fast.
Doom Slayer. It's so fast.
Like, all first-person shooters should feel that fast because you're so engaged. It's like you don't even have time to think about anything else. It's just action, action, action.
Yeah, it's just such a bummer because like we had played so many like first-person shooters became don't move, stay in cover, shoot from cover. Like, don't move, just find a place to not move, and then shoot people from there. And it's like, why? Like, why did that become such the norm for so long?
And Doom was the complete opposite.
And Doom was like, no,
don't stop moving.
Don't stop moving ever. Keep moving. Keep shooting. Like, it felt so fucking good, and it was so refreshing. And it's so funny that just like it took id, this like old ass story developer, to come and like change everything for like first person shooters again.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious. Like, why did we get so tied down to like cover-based shooting? I know Gears of War was really popular.
Cover-based shooting, but it's like there was nothing like Doom.
There was no variety though. Like it all became Gears of War in some way or another. Which is, Gears of War is a great game and great franchise, phenomenal franchise, but that everything felt like it had to copy it is a bummer. And that becomes more apparent when you look at Doom and you see how crazy different it was and how good it felt to just be unchained and go wherever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah, I can't wait for Doom Eternal.
Dude,
I'm very excited.
Dude, it's gonna be good.
I hope so. Been disappointed in Bethesda lately, so they got to show me the goods.
I think it'll be fine. I think the development team is far enough away from Bethesda, and Bethesda knows that Doom is probably like their best franchise right now, that they're not gonna fuck with it. Hopefully.
Yeah, I would have said the same about Wolfenstein.
And you have a sword. Yeah, I know. Youngblood was. Yeah, that's true. Machine Games. Poor guys. What was your second honorable mention?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I have a long history with Assassin's Creed. I think I've played every single Assassin's Creed game except for that Chronicles one, which was like a 2D side-scrolling one where there was like China, Russia, and something else. Yeah, that's the only one I never played. I played the Vita one.
That's crazy. Liberation.
I played Liberation.
Did you play Rogue?
Oh no, you're right. I did not play Rogue.
I've not
My
played
apologies.
Rogue either. That's the only one. Yeah, that's not the only one I
bought Rogue on PS3 like within the past 7 months, I would say. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, I always wonder about that game because that game just came out and no one talked about it, and it felt
was
like
supposed to be better. That came out when Unity came out, I think, and Unity was fucking trash.
Was like a buggy mess.
Rogue was like
supposed to be
really
competent
good.
and solid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was really good, but I think it was solid enough
Right.
that by, relative scale to Unity,
it was better than Unity.
Way better, and they were like, okay, play this game instead. Yeah, it was such a weird time for Assassin's Creed. But Odyssey is what we're talking about now, and that game just sounds like it blew you away.
It was unbelievable. Like, because I played Origins obviously when that came out, and I was like, this is good. This is a good step for Assassin's Creed. It's different. I like the RPG mechanics.
It's good they took a break.
Right.
It's like, okay, they got to do something different here.
The combat was hard to get used to at first, but once you get used to it, like the parrying system and stuff, it works. It all works fine. And then Odyssey came along, and it was like, man, I can't even, like, Origins was good, but looking back on it, it doesn't even hold a candle to what Odyssey did. Like the scope, the story was amazing in Odyssey.
Yeah.
The side stories, the side like missions and stuff were great in Odyssey. Like unbelievable.
I hear so much about it, and I Origins is still on my PS4. I'm still slowly trucking through it, and I have Odyssey on deck, but I just don't want to start Odyssey because I know I'll never go back to Origins.
Just burn through Origins, man. Just get.
Yeah,
I hate to take away from Origins because I did like Origins a lot.
Yeah.
But Odyssey is such a better game.
I need to do it, and I really want to get into that Atlantis DLC for Odyssey too. It looks so cool and different. I don't know if you touched that yet.
I did.
Where you go to Atlantis and it's like sci-fi.
There's a whole section of Atlantis, but I don't remember if I was in there. They referenced Atlantis in the main game.
Oh, the main game for sure.
And I don't think you go there until the DLC. Okay, if I remember correctly.
Dude, the trailers for the Atlantis DLC looks insane. It looks like a sci-fi game, and I love that. I love that for Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed going into this direction of like. It's historical, like it's based around like a historical time frame, but like let's also do crazy magic shit too.
Right, there's like mythical stuff and stuff like that. And dude, this is a Richard ass game. I'm telling you, man.
It feels like it.
Out
of
all the Assassin's Creed games, you're gonna love this one.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I just gotta
make sure you don't make the mistake. Don't play as Alexios. Just play as Cassandra.
Yeah, I hear awesome. She does such a better job, like her acting and stuff. So yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, nothing against that voice actor. Like he was fine, but his character is just so much lamer. Like Cassandra's awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. That's who I'll play as for sure.
Not a comic book fan, but it reminds me of like Wonder Woman during that period of time.
Some Gal Gadot vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Fuck yeah. She's awesome. My first honorable mention, Nier Gestalt. Man, do you know anything about Nier? Nier Automata.
Yeah, I know Nier, and I know Nier Automata. What the hell is Nier Gestalt?
Nier Gestalt. Okay, so when this is fucking such a boring thing to explain. When Nier originally released in Japan, it came out under two names. The first Nier for PS3 and Xbox. It released under the names Nier Replicant and Nier Gestalt.
Fucking Square. Dude, fucking Square. Jesus, can they just name things normally? What the fuck is wrong with Square Enix?
So in Nier Replicant, Nier Replicant and Nier Gestalt are nearly identical games. The primary difference is the main character of the game is different. So if you're playing Nier Replicant, you're playing the game revolves around you saving your little sister or daughter, depending on which game you picked up in Japan. If you picked up Replicant,
so like there's two physical different copies.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Okay. And if you picked up Nier Replicant, you play Yona. Yona is your sister or daughter's name. You play Yona's big brother, who is trying to save her. If you pick up Gestalt, you play as Yona's father. And the reason they did that is Gestalt was exclusive to Xbox and Replicant was exclusive to PlayStation.
That's interesting.
It's very weird.
So this was only in Japan that this shit
Only
happened.
in Japan.
Okay.
Well, and in the US, all we got was Gestalt.
Oh, and you never got the other one.
Exactly. And the reason for that was they felt like Western audiences wouldn't be able to identify with a younger character. The young brother who's saving his little sister. So instead, they gave us the father because they thought like a gruffer, manlier looking guy, an older man.
I can understand that train of thought.
Yeah,
but it's still kind of lame.
It's Square Enix not knowing, like, or it's that the localizer having no fucking idea what Westerners wanted.
Well, it's a marketing thing.
Yeah,
most gamers now are in their 30s.
Yeah,
like or like you're in your late 20s, like. You're probably at the bottom of the rung of like the 5 or 6 year gap where it's like most gamers are at this age.
Yeah,
you're probably at the bottom of that rung, and I'm more towards the top of that rung.
For sure.
And that's probably who they were appealing to. So by now, a lot of people our ages are fathers.
Yeah. So yeah, the logic there makes sense. One thing I will say that was great about it, though, the fact that I got to play Gestalt, is like it was kind of refreshing to play like an anime ass game where I wasn't playing as this like young, really smooth faced child, and I was playing like an adult. Like it was kind of cool to play like this
it's an
ugly
anime game.
Yeah, it's like it's a JRPG. It kind of has like similar to Kingdom Hearts battle system, but game was super dark. The subject matter was super dark. It gets really heady and philosophical as well. It's a crazy fucking game.
That is weird because most of those Japanese like anime games, it's always young people. It's always show or
shonen,
showing or I forget the word I was going to try to say, but they're always showing you like the characters like early 20s or like really late teens, like 19
or like 16 or whatever. Yeah, it's really like younger kids for your protagonist because they want to appeal to that younger market. So it's cool that Gestalt didn't do that. Another crazy thing about Gestalt, the localization, it's good that they only localized one game because it seems like they had more money. The voice acting in this game is some of the best I've ever seen in a video game.
They're English voice actors?
The English voice acting is phenomenal. So like that paired with incredible music by Keiichi Okabe, same guy who does the music for the new Nier. The story itself, the characters, like the way they develop and the way that like you get to know them.
Does it play like Nier Automata?
It plays like a way worse Nier Automata because Platinum wasn't developing the combat. It was Cavia doing the.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's why Nier Automata is such a competent game because
Platinum didn't do any of the Niers until Automata.
The Automata they got like contracted as a private contractor for Automata and they helped them with the combat.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So and I think that's why that game like rose to such a astounding accolades is because Nier Automata had all the things that made Nier great, plus an amazing combat and gameplay loop that wasn't present at all in Nier. Because the first Nier, while really interesting, it has like weird. It like takes. It got
critically acclaimed, like the first Nier did.
It's a cult classic for sure. Because it does a lot of weird stuff, and but the thing is, like technically, it looks like dog shit. It's a kind of an ugly looking game. It has like some portions of the game look pretty gorgeous, but technically it looks gross. Like the ground textures are always really pixelated whenever you're like right next to them. That's gross. The combat's just not great. But there's so much, everything else about that game is so like pristine and amazing. And like the story, dude, it's just so heavy. It gets so dark. And it does that thing where like you think you're the protagonist, and by the end of the game you're like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do?
That's pretty cool.
So it's very cool. It talks about like the apocalypse and stuff, and it's a very cool game. So that's my first honorable mention. Also, this segment's gonna go on for a while, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it is. it's definitely longer than I thought it was gonna be. It doesn't matter. These are good games.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah, we're giving them a little.
We're talking about the decade. It's a big deal.
So it's back to me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So my next one, Red Dead Redemption.
The first one.
For Xbox 360 and PS3.
Man.
I did play a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. I couldn't get too far into it. It was really slow. I felt like it was forcing me. Like I felt like anchors were around my ankles the entire time I was playing that game, and all I wanted to do was go fast.
It's a you had that Sonic vibe. You just wanted to go fast. But no, it is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Speaking of Sonic, February 14th, sir.
Oh my God. Valentine's Day.
You're going to have to come off the mountain for that one.
I'll have to ditch my girlfriend to come down.
I'm going to have to ditch my wife.
On Valentine's Day, we are leaving our significant others to go watch Sonic together. That's a good idea.
No, Claudia's going to have to go. She'll be really mad.
Okay. You make her.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to force her to see that.
Oh my God.
She has no choice. I'm sorry. I hope you like Jim Carrey, honey.
I'm sorry, Claudia. But no, Red Dead Redemption 2, definitely a slower version of Red Dead Redemption 1. I see what you're saying, but Red Dead Redemption 1 is in your honorable mention. Let's talk about that game.
Okay.
What brings it to your what did it for you?
No care about Western movies.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying they're bad or anything like that. I just never really watched them. They never got into them. Mm-hmm. There was no appeal for me to watch a Western movie.
Yeah.
The game was only appealing. It's like, these guys who did Grand Theft Auto, the cutscenes look cool, look very like an interesting world that I wanted to explore. And when I got in there, holy shit. Holy hell.
Did it buy you into like the Western genre? Were you like, holy shit, I think I like Western?
I didn't like go out of my way to watch Western movies, but I totally would. If somebody was like, you want to watch a Western? I'd be like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But those opportunities haven't really come up or anything like that. But I would be willing to watch one now for sure. Whereas before I was like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm interested.
Yeah. There's some good stuff. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars. There's some good stuff.
My dad loves Westerns.
They're fucking fun. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this game I was really surprised by it too. I remember this is the first Rockstar game I finished.
This was not my first, but
okay.
Yeah, never mind.
But like I up until that point, like Rockstar games, I was like, no, they're too big. Like I get bored after a while.
You never finished GTA 3
no.
or Vice City?
Nope. I played like
I could understand San Andreas because I never finished that one either.
I would play like 20, 25 hours, and I'd be like, okay, I get it. I would use, for whatever reason, a Grand Theft Auto. I would play Grand Theft Auto, and then eventually, like a dirty cop comes into the store, and he's like, "This is how you're not going to get caught if you work with me, because you're too big now." And I'll be like, I'm done playing this game. For whatever reason, that was always like the thing that would happen. I'm like, I'm bored. I feel like I've gotten everything I needed out of this Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, not every game's for every person.
Yeah, and I think it just like it didn't change up things enough as I like kept continuing through Grand Theft Auto. But for whatever reason, the story in Red Dead Redemption was so compelling the whole way through that I could not put it down.
The story was great. The world, like the environments, I think, really what did it, because like GTA was like,
yeah, man,
this is a really cool world, but it felt like a lot of, you see the same stuff a lot of the different places, but not in Red Dead.
Yeah.
In Red Dead, I'll give you a distinct example of why I love this game.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of fucking nowhere in a desert. Like, there's nobody around. Absolutely nobody. I don't even know what I was doing out there. It was probably like a side mission where I was getting like fucking flowers because you had to collect flowers and shit. I don't even know what I was doing out there. And there was like this rock, and all of a sudden there's this guy that like comes up and starts pissing on this rock. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, I'm not interacting whatsoever.
Sure.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, how is why is this guy even out here? And he's just taking a leak on the rock, and I'm just like, all right. Then I hear a roar, like a cougar, like a fucking wildcat is coming. I'm like, oh fuck. So I like pull out my gun. He don't come for me.
No.
He attacks and murders the guy taking a piss. And then after that happened, the cougar never came after me.
Yeah.
And I just watched this whole thing happen. I'm like, holy shit. I wonder how many people played this game and never fucking saw that happen.
I never had that experience.
It was unbelievable. And that's when I fell in love with that game.
Well, I mean, that game, like, that's a crazy thing about that game is, like, you would think that Rockstar making a game that doesn't have cars, that doesn't have, you know, cities, that doesn't have helicopters and all these crazy modern day things that are so indicative of Grand Theft Auto, to make a game that's set in the West, like, they're trying to develop a game with an arm tied behind their back, because they have to make a game that's set in the wilderness just as compelling as something that's set in a concrete jungle of like a Grand Theft Auto, right? But they somehow do it. They do it with like little interactions like that, and just letting the effect of nature kind of like pulse through this game. And I think both the first and second game do that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got highly into like the hunting in that game.
Yeah,
there was like that one bear that was on the top of the mountain. I can't remember like the name of it or something. It had like a special name. It distincted from the other bears.
A legendary hunt. Yeah, exactly. Those are really cool too.
That man, when I took down that bear, I felt like a king of the world. It was so awesome.
Did you kill Sasquatch?
I don't remember that.
There's a Sasquatch quest in that game.
I think I did actually. Oh man!
And he just says like you're just hunting him, and you keep like trying to kill him, and then you get to like the last one, and he's like, I'm the last of my kind. Go ahead and kill me. Like he starts talking to you and shit. It's crazy.
I don't know.
You might not have finished it.
Here's the thing. I beat the game 99% on Xbox 360. I remember going through and trying to figure out what that last percentage was and seeing how long it was going to take me to get that 1%. And I was like, fuck this.
That might have been Sasquatch.
I was already like so many hours into that game. And I was already kind of like, all right, I want to move on to something else.
Yeah, for sure.
And when I saw what I had to do that last 1%, so I ended that game 99% on 360.
That's hilarious. What's your next honorable mention?
Next honorable mention, let's go with another open world game, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nice. Cool.
I don't feel like it's completely overlooked. I feel like it's overlooked now because of another game I'll mention later.
Yeah.
But for a long time, that was my like PlayStation 4 like game. Like if somebody came into my store and was like, "What game should I buy on PlayStation 4?" Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
it's still like
you love that game.
It's the combat is like second to none.
It's really fun. It's really fun just killing massive robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, and I like the world. I know a lot of people will give the story shit, but I actually like the story quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was better. The story was better than I was anticipating because I was just expecting the gameplay to be fun and the story to be shit.
For sure.
I thought the story was good.
Yeah.
And the gameplay was just
amazing.
Out of this world.
Incomparable to other games. I think I had the reverse issue with the story. I think a lot of people were telling me like, oh, Richard, you're going to love this story because it talks about Gaia principle. It talks about like, machines taking over and all the stuff that you like.
I did dig that shit. That's cool.
I mean, I don't know. It just didn't resonate for me as much as everyone thought it would and told me that it would. I think too many people hyped me up on the story, and then when I played it, I was like, it's a story.
To be honest, the more you played, the better the story got. It was weaker in the beginning and got better towards the end.
I played quite a bit. I got like 30 hours into that game.
You're pretty close to the end.
I think
probably
I got,
maybe like 10 more hours.
Yeah, I was starting to like unravel the mystery, and it was starting to get like Lance Reddick showed up, the black guy from what's he from? He's from a bunch of stuff. He was in The Guest.
Yeah, that's when the story gets more interesting.
Yeah, his character.
So, that sucks because you probably left right when the story
was starting to take off.
Yeah, man.
And I think I just was over it by that point. But yeah, it did start to feel like it was going to get better and start to ramp up. But I just already lost interest.
I understand that.
My next honorable mention, Matt, is Ni no Kuni.
I'm gonna go get a beer.
Do you know anything about Ni no Kuni, Matt?
I know that I got a copy of it on my Switch sitting there that I've never played.
Do you remember how it looks at all?
Yeah, Studio Ghibli. Did I pronounce that correctly? Or is it Ghibli?
I don't know.
One of the two.
I don't know.
Helped with the first Ni no Kuni, which is the one you're referring to.
They did a lot of like the art direction.
Wrath of the White Witch. Is that what we're talking about?
That is it. Yeah, that's the one. So they did a lot of the art direction. They actually did some of the anime cutscenes in the game.
I heard nothing, but the game is supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Japanese RPGs
are
not my thing.
I feel you. They very much are my thing, and I think this game just came out when I was starved for get a beer, dude. Where I was starved for like any Japanese RPGs. Matt, you don't have to walk under that, right? He's doing it. When you walk by, all they see is a flash of blue. All right, okay. But yeah, I was just like starved for JRPGs at that point. Nothing good was coming out,
and that was PS3 game, right?
PS3, yeah. And it just looked so pretty. Like the cities and the towns were just so cool looking. Like the design of the towns felt like so unique, and they put so much effort into like the layout of cities and like how an alleyway would turn into like this stairwell that kind of comes up into the second alleyway that leads into the main street. Like there were just so many beautiful cities. Ding Dong Dell, a city. Sorry. A city in Ni no Kuni, probably one of my favorite in like video game towns ever.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Square Enix?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Is that who made it?
Yeah.
It's Square Enix, but it was developed by Level 5. Actually, I don't even know if it was published by Square Enix.
Was it?
Let me check before you go on this rant.
No, I'm about to go on a rant. Just a short one. We're going to find out right now for you guys.
Yeah.
This is exciting content.
They love it. They fucking love it. No, this was Level 5. I don't think it was published by.
Okay.
It was Namco Bandai.
Okay, that sounds about right.
No, it's just Japanese games have silly names. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. It's not just Square Enix. But yeah, that was one of my honorable mentions. Matt, what you got? 2 more?
Yeah, I just want to throw this out there. I do have some Japanese RPGs, and if people are wondering why the fuck I have Japanese RPGs, I like to collect good games, and I hope that one day something breaks my brain and I get into that shit.
Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII Remake, bro. It's coming out in less than 60 days. It's gonna fucking change your life.
If it does, I have a plethora of Japanese RPGs that I can go back and play. Cool. I have Persona 4 Golden on Vita. I have Final Fantasy. I just got Final Fantasy 2 on Super Nintendo.
Matt, I will pay you money to go through Persona 4 Golden with me together. I would lose my shit to go through that game together.
So I'm just throwing that there in case people look at if you want to see what fucking games I have behind me. Yes, there's Japanese RPGs in there, and it is for a reason. One day, maybe I'll retire and I'll eventually get into this shit and have time to actually play these games. So hopefully that's the end.
Do you have a JRPG on your honorable mentions right now?
I do not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say that. Okay.
No.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So where were I have, what are we going to do? 2 more honorable mentions? Okay,
your last
cool.
2, yeah.
So the next one, let's go with a great game that has been, I think, vastly forgotten. Inside. From 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. That's about right?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe 2017. I don't know. Inside is fucking awesome. It's probably 2018 now that I think about it. I'm just throwing out names.
2016.
For every fucking
2016.
Year. 2016. Okay, I was right one of those times.
You said every fucking year of the last 6 years. But yeah, I heard good things about this one. I never played it.
Have you ever played Limbo?
Nope, haven't played that either.
So when I played Limbo first.
Yeah.
And I was like, Limbo, awesome. That was an awesome game. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
When I played Inside, it was like the end of that game is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, man. Like,
is it sad? Is it a sad game?
I would say it's like depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without giving away anything. I think Inside has a very harsh look at humanity, and I fucking love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
And that's like what the whole lead up and the whole end of the game is about. That like, it like when I got done the game, I was like, humans are filthy and disgusting, and I totally agree with this game. Like, 100%.
You're like, we should kill people after.
Yeah. Well, no.
You got Joker vibes after you watch this.
Dude, I love Joker too.
We're not talking about movies. What's your next one?
Next one,
yeah,
which you might agree somewhat with. This was hard. This was when I got Inside, and this next game almost made the cut. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that game
very close to being on there.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason, as time has passed by, Breath of the Wild has been getting like more and more flack for some reason. I think it
shouldn't.
I think it's unwarranted. I don't think it's fair. I love Breath of the Wild. That game...
It was my favorite Zelda game since Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's my favorite game since whatever my last favorite Zelda game is, which is the same thing that you're saying, effectively. Like Wind Waker, yeah, I like it more than Wind Waker. I think it's like up there. It might be one of my favorite Zelda games ever.
It's a very, very good Zelda game. Yeah. There were some issues, like people didn't like the weapons breaking, which I had.
It gets annoying.
I had a tough time with that in the beginning.
Master Sword should be unbreakable. Once you get that thing, once you do the quest for the Master Sword,
that's kind of lame.
Stupid that has a recharge. It should just be unbreakable. You earned it. You earned an unbreakable weapon. Let me use one. Let me have one unbreakable weapon. Doesn't need to be, They stuck to that belief too stringently, I believe.
I have one outstanding reason though.
Yeah.
Why it didn't make the cut. There's no real dungeons in can Now you can argue with me and tell me that
there's not.
What do they call them? The beasts or something?
Divine beasts. Yeah.
Divine beasts.
They're not.
You can tell me they're dungeons. They're not.
They're bigger
dungeons. Go back and play a dungeon from Ocarina of Time and tell me they're
or
the
Twilight
same.
Princess.
Yeah. Ooh. Or even the top down ones.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
not the same.
No, it's definitely not. That's an issue for me. It's so funny. So that's an issue, and then the story is a major issue for me.
There was no story.
There was no story, exactly. That is the issue, especially which is kind of not okay when you look at things like Wind Waker, when you look at things like Link's Awakening, which you've been playing.
Even Ocarina of Time had a way more in-depth story.
Majora's Mask, like there are some great stories within Zelda, despite the fact that it's this game where like none of the stories really connect. Each game still has some, and you have a silent protagonist.
But still, even after all that, it's still like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it is 100%, and that's so funny. Like it's so funny whenever people talk about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, me myself included, I'm part of the issue too. It almost always goes immediately to like what the negatives are. And I think the reason for that is that what it does well is so obvious, apparent, and innovative and different and amazing and incredible that like you can't help but like when something's so perfect, you have to like try and find the faults, and I think that's what happens when you talk about Breath of the Wild. Is you immediately go to like, well, here are the things I don't like. Right.
The next thing that people will bring up is, oh, it rained every time I climbed a mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
That
whole
which
thing.
You can get different things to like overcome that most of the time. Or like, sometimes you just have to wait for the rain to stop.
It's kind of annoying, but whatever. But like that,
you really had a freedom to go everywhere though.
It's
like
crazy.
I did find the edge of the game a few times.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to go. To the edge to get to
literally
the
to
edge.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like there's none of that within the world itself. Like you can really climb anything. You can really like that level of freedom was so unprecedented in video games, and every developer seems so scared to do it because. And the reason for that is so apparent because look how much work it took to get that game to work.
That level of freedom fucked up people who were playing Horizon Zero Dawn because if you don't forget, they came out like a week apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was smart and I fucking beat Horizon Zero Dawn before I went on to Zelda because I had a feeling when I heard you can climb everything that might,
this might
affect it.
Be a different kind of game. Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. I played Breath of the Wild first and then I went back to Zero Dawn and I was like, this game feels old. This game feels like it came out in 2005.
It's like a fucking week apart.
Exactly. It's fucking crazy, like how that game dated everything else around it, and that is a testament to how good Breath of the Wild is, and why I love it so much. Yeah, that game's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
Was that your last honorable mention?
That was my last of the honorable mentions.
Okay, we haven't even touched.
Jeez,
This is gonna be a fun. This is gonna be a big podcast. That's good. I'm glad because
yeah,
they're not
it's
gonna
the last one for a while.
Yeah, they're not gonna have one for a while. So let's go for it. My last honorable mention, and this game would probably be on my top 3 games if I had finished it, but I've been waiting to finish it because I keep thinking that they're gonna do the DLC and give me the extended content that is on the Switch right now.
Oh, there's extended content on the Switch? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, on the Switch version of it. Dragon Quest XI.
Interesting.
As someone who loves JRPGs, whose genre, it is my favorite. Like I love, as far as genres go, like JRPGs is the top for me. This game, from what I've played, is a perfect JRPG. Like it has, it's very pretty. The towns are awesome, all that stuff, whatever. But like, it's simply a JRPG. It's not trying to do anything fucking weird. It's not trying to do anything outlandish. It's just trying to be the best turn-based Japanese role-playing game that it can be, and it succeeds on all fronts except music.
Really?
The issue is the version I'm playing doesn't have the orchestrated soundtrack. It's a MIDI.
And the Switch version does?
And the Switch version does.
That's kind of lame.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Can't they patch that in, though?
They are... I don't know what's going on. Square Enix is being a fucking cunt about it. I don't know what's going on. But that aside, like, the story... like, just, like...
I'm going to give it the highest compliment that I can give it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
You played Dragon Quest XI?
I played it for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this is pretty good.
It's
but
just...
something else was out, and I was like, yeah, this still...
So the thing about Dragon Quest and 11 as well, like Dragon Quest in general, like it's just such a technically, not from like a graphical standpoint, but just from like the numbers that it implements to like make a role-playing game that feels good, to level up, to do new damage to enemies. Like it's so expertly balanced that it just feels so good to like get in a battle, do a few turns of battle, and then, get your XP, level up. Like that whole loop within a Dragon Quest game just feels so like tightly tuned. Like it's just very, like a lot of effort seems to be put into how well crafted the game is. And I love it to death. I can't wait to finish this game. I've been waiting because I wanted like the content from the Switch version to come to PS4. It hasn't. I think I'm just going to jump back in.
Mine's on PS4 too, so I hope they do
Me
make
too.
a patch for that. Like, why wouldn't they just release a patch for it if it's already there?
I think what people are saying is Nintendo paid for the definitive edition, and so it's locked in as exclusive content.
At least a timed exclusive, right?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I waited so long, but we've heard nothing about it, and it really just feel like I feel kind of fucking annoyed because I paid day one to get Dragon Quest.
You paid the full amount that
yeah,
day.
I said,
and
hey,
now you have a lesser version.
Exactly. I support this game. I want this franchise to do well in the West. I've been wanting to do well in the West. And I put my money in, day one, and now I feel like I have like an inferior version, which is annoying. And the most annoying part about it is the Switch version isn't even the definitive version, truly, because it doesn't look as good as the PS4 version. It's a little muddy. So it's like I want the truly perfect, best version with like all the content and looking like the best it can look in terms of resolution.
That's always a tough choice to make. Maybe we should have a discussion deeper about this one day.
Yeah.
But like, what games do you wait for? Because there's going to be a definitive.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Like that. Like for one quick example, I don't play a lot of fighting games, but I do love Mortal Kombat. But I refuse to buy the first version of Mortal Kombat.
I get you.
When you release the special, whatever XL edition or special edition they do with all the extra characters and all the extra content, then you'll get my money.
Exactly. Yeah, it's annoying. So that's kind of where I've been at. I can't wait to go back, but as far as a JRPG goes, it's probably the best one that came out in like the last 10, 15 years. I wouldn't be surprised.
Interesting.
All right. And that brings us to our top three games of the decade. Yeah, how far? 50 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Very cool. All right, Matt.
I don't think we're gonna have any overlap here either. I think they're gonna be.
I think they're all different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you number these for yourself, or are they just your top three?
I think I have them in like the order they came out, like oldest to newest.
Okay. All right.
I think that's how I have them.
What is your first of your top three?
The Last of Us.
Last of Us, the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That story. Them characters.
This came out in 2013.
Yeah.
This was the first year I really started paying attention to and caring about stories in games. Before, it was always about just gameplay for me.
For sure, yeah.
And if there was cutscenes, I was just let me play the fucking game. Just,
Would you skip them?
Let me play the game. Yeah, I skipped them all the time.
That's awesome.
But The Last of Us, like that and BioShock Infinite, I beat to completely beat the game, and paid attention to the entire story and was like really into both stories, and I loved both games, and I was like, man, this is what I want out of games now.
It changed your whole worldview on what games should be.
Yeah,
sounds like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I went from not caring about story at all to being like, man, I really care a lot about the story, where before it was just like the gameplay just needs to be good.
I think Last of Us did that for so many people. I think it allowed people to just get into that aspect of video games, and it made people respect story and that aspect of narrative within games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Also, that game is fucking fun as hell to play.
Yeah, it really is.
What difficulty did you play that on?
Probably normal, maybe hard.
Yeah.
Those are typically, I either pick normal or hard on just about every single game that I play. It's one or the other.
I played that game on hard. The reason I ask is I played it on hard, and that game was perfect in terms of how exciting it was to go through things. The great thing about Last of Us that I think it doesn't get enough credit for is you could fuck something up and still pull out a victory in that scenario. There's so many times I remember I would try and sneak up on a clicker to kill it, and I'd fuck it up, and a bunch of clickers would start fucking with me.
They'd all hear you.
And I'd be like, oh shit, I'm fucked. And if I just kept my head straight and I was like, no, I can still do this. I have enough ammo. I can do enough things. I just have to keep moving. I have to, keep circumnavigating.
It was like a Resident Evil vibe because you had limited 100%. Ammo and you needed to stab some of them with your shivs. And when do you use a shiv?
Yeah, exactly.
Because those were almost as good. Those were like golden bullets, basically.
100%. Yeah, to get you out. It would kill the enemy and it would save you from dying.
Right, but then if you wanted to collect everything, you needed the shivs to unlock certain doors. Yeah, so it's like, I waste a shiv right now or not?
Such a great little gameplay balancing act that they
did. I always had 6 shivs. I refused to not have a shiv. I did not want to get to a point where I could not get something.
Fuck that. No, yeah, that was such a great thing, and yeah, I don't know. There was just a ballet that you would fall into with the combat with clickers and such. That was just so fun.
Yeah, great game.
And the ending.
Oh, what a great ending.
Bold ending.
Look, it was so many games, especially during that time, were trying to give people choices and shit.
Yeah.
And they were just here's our story. This is our ending.
Yep.
And I was so satisfied. So satisfied at the end of that game. And that's partially why I'm afraid of the number 2.
I don't want number 2.
It looks great, but they could have just they could have just left it there. It would have been it's almost like a perfect movie. Just leave it alone. The
ending of Last of Us 1 is it's such a perfect encapsulation of Joel and Ellie's relationship and what they're willing to do for each other, what lies they're willing to accept for each other. And it has such a perfect arc that it's not something I wanted to revisit. And when there were rumblings of Last of Us 2, I was like, don't bring back Ellie and Joel. Please don't bring them back.
Same world, different characters.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, just do something different. Don't bring back these characters. So I'm really worried about Last of Us 2 and what they're going to go into and what they're going to delve into, because these are not characters I wanted to revisit. I think the things ended so perfectly that it's such a risk to go back to it. And I don't know. I think from a technical standpoint, it's going to be an achievement of a ridiculous level. I think we're going to be really impressed by the technology that's implemented in this game. But I just don't know about the story. I don't know if they're gonna get me on that.
I trust Naughty Dog. I think it's going to be great. I have a hard time imagining that they can live up to what my expectations are, because The Last of Us was something new. Now it's not new anymore.
Yeah.
So the bar has to be even higher, because how are you really going to impress the audience that you already have?
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody can do it, it's Naughty Dog.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm still man, I kind of wanted to just be left where it was left.
100%.
But I'm happy to play. I'm going to play, without a doubt, I'm playing the game. Don't get me wrong. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So my number 3 for top 3 games of the decade is favorite games of the decade. Thank you. Breath of the Wild, which we don't have to talk too much about since we kind of went all into it.
Great game.
Yeah, I love it. I love it to death. And yeah, my number 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
My number 2, and I went out of order, which I didn't realize because I wasn't paying that close attention. Journey.
Oh, I love Journey.
Dude,
Journey's your number 2?
Journey.
I respect that to hell.
Changed like my idea of games. Like I heard the game was like amazing and stuff, and I heard it was. Here's the thing, guys. I heard it was short.
Yeah.
That I could beat it in like a day.
And you're like, oh, perfect.
And some people are like, oh, well, I'm not giving them any money. I was like, here's my effing money.
Yeah, you're like, I can't wait to play this short game.
I can't wait to play a short game.
Have a full experience in 5 hours. Awesome.
Played it with my wife Claudia. She watched
was there?
Start to finish. And this is
nice.
Here's the truth, because I actually forgot this until now. I didn't play most of that time.
Oh, was she playing it?
We were together, and she played that game like
hilarious.
90% of the time.
That's amazing.
And I didn't read anything about it. I didn't know a lot about the game. I knew that it was good, and that's all I knew.
Yeah.
And there was a character in there with us, and we thought it was the same character the entire time.
That's so funny.
Until we got to the end of the game where it shows you all these people you played the game with. I was like, holy shit.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Like, and the ending was, my God, they told a story with like no story.
With not a single word of spoken dialogue.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Journey is, like, in my eyes, a perfect video game. Like, there are no negatives that you can apply towards that video game. It looks beautiful.
Right.
Like, its music is amazing.
And if somebody disagrees with you about video games and doesn't like video games, have them play Journey, because it's a short experience. It's
anybody can play it.
Digest, and then they will look at games differently. They will be like, oh wow, it is an art form.
And it's not a hard game. Anybody can pick it up and play it. It's very straightforward. It's a simple game. And yeah, it's just like,
sorry, I threw you off your point there.
No, it's fine. It's such a. I was just gonna say how beautiful it is. I was just gonna sing its praises, and you're doing
graphically.
Just that. Graphically is, dude. The art style in that game is. There's parts of that game where like you're sliding down through like the sands as you're like skimming through, and like it looks almost gold.
Yeah,
like the sands.
And your scarf is like waving behind you.
Dude, it's unbelievable. And I mean, we've talked about Death Stranding on this podcast multiple times. Like, that's the first Stranding game, or with
people like working together.
Exactly, and like you don't know who they are exactly.
That was the coolest part. All you can communicate with is that little chirp.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't actually
like,
say anything.
The unique ways that you would try and communicate to someone. Have I said on this podcast like my story about like the one person I played with that whole game? Or was that off the podcast?
You told me that, but I don't think it was on the podcast.
So yeah, for you guys, I'll go into it.
This is crazy.
So I picked that game up day one because the second I saw how it looked, maybe like a few months before it came out, I was like, what is this game? Like, how does it look so gorgeous? Like, I had never seen an art style look that pretty. So I was like, I'm there day one, and I picked it up right away. Started playing it right away. I went through in one session, and I had a single guy with me from the beginning of the game to the very end, and I didn't know for sure until I finished the game, and that credits came up, and it was one guy.
That's crazy, dude.
Which was fucking nuts.
I had so many, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, which is so testament to the game that you weren't even realizing it was changing out people. But we played through like the entirety of the game together, which is insane to like have that journey with like this other guy you can't talk to. He's there the whole time. And I remember going through it, and there's this one section of the game where you're in the snowy mountains with the sentinels, like the serpent sentinels that are flying. As we were trying to get up together, we were like huddled together, because if you're huddled together, you can kind of keep each other warm, and that'll like let you jump indefinitely, basically. But we were huddled together trying to like make our way up the mountain, and the serpent comes and starts to like come towards us, and we just split up because we panic, and he hits me, and I just fall all the way down to the mountain. I'm like, fuck. Because it like takes off my scarf, so he fucked up my scarf, and I had like half of my meter, and I was going up alone now, so like it was gonna take me like twice as long to get up, way more dangerous, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, and it took me like 20 minutes to get up, and by like minute 10 of me trying to get up, I mean, he's gone, he fucking left. There's no way he stayed for me. Like, there's no way he waited for me. Like, that'd be stupid for him to do that. I'm like, fuck, I lost like the guy I was playing with. That sucks. And I'm just like slowly just trying to make my way back up the mountain. I finally like see the peak of it, like the crest of the hill. And I just see bing, 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 like him mashing circle because he sees me, and immediately I just do a big like circle to let him know I'm coming, and he's freaking out, and I get back up there, and I'm with him, and like we just start freaking out, and we're just
so
like super
crazy,
psyched,
man.
and
no
like,
words exchanged.
No words exchanged, and then we like finish the game. His name is the only one that comes up. I hit him up on PSN. I'm like, dude, thank you so much. Like that was such a crazy, unique experience I never had in any other game. Thank you for being a part of it. And he's like, thanks so much. I was here with like my kid, and me and my kid were watching, and it was like so crazy. So
it was like traumatic when you lost each other.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, like my bud, and I can't even like the fact that he just stayed there at the top of that hill for 20 minutes and waited for me to come back.
That's crazy.
Is so crazy.
I don't think I would have waited 20 minutes.
No, fuck no. I probably wouldn't have done it either, but. It's so cool. So yeah, that's a cool one that you put on there. That's really awesome. I'm glad I got to tell that story on the podcast too.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like Journey, and here's another thing, like just kind of like The Last of Us. Like I never went back and played The Last of Us. I could kind of see myself doing that again. Yeah, I will never go back and play Journey because I will never have the same experience. Again.
Same. That's how I feel about that too. I'll never have like a guy who picked it up day one like I did.
Right.
You know, like
I was on there day one too. I was on the same night as you. Playing with Claudia.
That's so funny.
And
imagine if we played together, bro.
That would be nuts. That'd be crazy, man.
Imagine if you were that guy.
Man. It was. Journey is so good.
Yeah.
And like you really can only experience it once. And you might think, oh, it's not worth the money, dude. I would have paid $60 for that 2-hour experience that I had.
That game is something else. I played it a few times. I got the white.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you get all the trophies and stuff?
Yeah, nice. Platinumed it. Yeah, I love that game. Could not get enough of it.
Yeah, I couldn't go back and play it again. I was like, what
I understand.
Perfect ending.
Yeah, you're like that's good. No. I'm good.
Yep.
It's funny if I go back and play, I like don't tell the people where the secrets are. I just follow them around because I don't want to ruin their experience. Like I hate the idea of like me just telling them where to go. So I'll just follow him around to try and emulate the experience I had.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. So my second one, number 2, is Red Dead Redemption 2. Which is funny that you brought up the
I can respect it, even though I don't agree with it.
I understand. It's and that game is that's pure narrative. I think that is the best written video game I've ever played. Full stop. Like I think in terms of like the character developments, the arcs, the dialogue, what that story talks about, how it defines America, what it views America as, what it views brotherhood as, all that stuff that it goes into is just so maturely examined and talked about that it just hit me so hard. And it's such a dense game. Like I think I describe it as like it's the first game that felt like I was reading a novel, like a really good American novel as I was playing through it. And there's
I wish I could get through the slog of it.
I'm sorry. It sucks that you can't. I feel bad because there is such a crazy story, and
I feel like I started turning a corner, and then something came out, and I started playing something else, and now it's like I'd have to go back and relearn all the controls again. Like I'd basically be like starting from scratch.
Yeah, I feel you. But it's a crazy game, and like the way they like deal with your camp, like the way that your camp acts as like this hub for you to like interact with the people that are part of your crew. What up, Dakota? Like the way that all pans out and shakes out is just so cool, and like it just grounds you into that world in such a affecting way. That's really cool. What's your last one? What's your number 1 game of the decade? Or did we do this backwards for you?
Or
do you have a number 1?
I don't really care. I just picked 3 out of like the list that I went through. There might be games I'm forgetting, honestly. There might have been honorable mentions. There might have even been somebody in the top 3. But I just looked through lists of games to try to remember what I played and what I loved. And probably the most impactful game I played was God of War.
Dang. God of War's on here.
I loved that game.
I still haven't played it.
I beat that game like I got the platinum trophy in it.
Yeah.
And there's only like I think I have like 5 or 6 platinum trophies. And this was probably one of the harder ones that I have.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the hardest platinum trophy that I have. This is probably number 2.
Well, I'm sure Assassin's Creed has to do with the like grind rather than the actual difficulty. I'm sure it's just grind to get that.
Like 140
hours.
Exactly.
That's so crazy. I can't believe you have the platinum on Odyssey. That's insane.
It took me forever.
I have to play that game now.
It's so good.
So God of War though, like Dude, I need to play this game.
The story is great. Look, the combat's what first gets me. Like, that's always the first thing. Like, if the combat is not good, if the controls are not good, goodbye, I'm done. I don't care how good your story is.
Matt, do you realize that the combat is very similar to Dark Souls?
I don't care about Dark Souls. The combat was so good. I was like, all right, this is great. And then you've played at least the beginning of it, right?
Yeah, I played like the first that
5 hours. That first boss fight is fucking great. I was like, holy shit. Like, this is amazing. It's
very cool.
I don't know how much you played, so I'm not going to mention like specifics on it.
I mean, I've read all spoilers, so you can jump in. I don't mind. Unless you feel uncomfortable doing it, I understand.
I just don't want to ruin it. I don't know. I guess, how many years ago did this come out? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, 2018.
Just play the fucking game.
Let's play the game.
Jesus Christ, the story is fantastic. There's even like a little twist at the end, which they don't even tell you. Like, so it could be obvious to some people, but not completely obvious to others. But if you do not go back to your house after the credits roll, you don't see this whole scene in the game.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you should all make sure you go back to your house after the credits roll. Otherwise, you're going to miss a whole cutscene.
Yeah, I've seen that cutscene. It's funny that I didn't know you had to go back to the house to do it. That's very funny. Like, that you could just miss it completely if you don't go back.
Luckily, I didn't miss it. I don't think that I knew about it. I think that I went back there for something else. Because I went for the platinum. Specifically went to try to go finish that game.
Yeah.
And when I was trying to get like the game 100% or whatever, I went back to the house at some point. I was like, "Holy shit! Like, what the fuck?"
That's awesome.
Like, it was a great moment.
Are you excited about this God of War 2? Do you think they set up well enough? Are you like excited about the prospect?
God of War 2, you said?
Yeah. Like, what enemies you'll fight? Like, does that have you amped? Buddy.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think the bar set's super high though. Again, like, this is the thing that they're going to keep doing is this God of War. They're going to keep making these. I understand that. And I don't know if I need much else, man. If you give me the Leviathan axe and some other weapons that are in the
weapons,
game.
The weapons.
I'm all about that, man.
That's cool.
As long as the story's good again. Like, I mean, that's what really put it over the edge. I always loved God of War.
I mean, that's one thing I can speak to is the fact that, like, it's such a, like, the fact that they took God of War, this, like, angsty, machismo, like, overly done, manly guy who bangs Greek women and, like, fucks everyone up and kills everyone and viciously decapitates everyone that he meets. The fact that they took, like, that very unlikable anti-hero and, like, mellowed him out, so cool. Like, such a meta narrative or meta commentary on, like, taking this character and trying to make him, more modern.
Right.
It was really interesting. But he's still Kratos at the same time.
The gameplay was always great. It just got even better. Like, they made the gameplay even better than what it was before. And then fucking Mimir, he was awesome. Mimir, I don't know how many times I was in that motherfucking boat and, like, that son of a bitch was telling a story and I had shit I had to do and I'm like, go ahead, man. Tell me your fucking story. What else you got to say?
Which is so hard to do for you. Like, to get you to capture you like that. Yeah, that's tough.
Because I just want to get on with shit. Like, I'm always thinking about time and stuff. But so many times I was just like, holy shit, this is an interesting ass story he's telling right now.
That's impressive. That's really cool.
I mean, I don't know how they're going to do this in another game. I don't know how.
It'll be on PS5. It'll be bigger and better.
Let's talk about PlayStation really quick.
Okay.
This is a testament to PlayStation. I'm like an agnostic gamer. I play stuff on Xbox. I play
agnostic
stuff on...
gamer. I've never heard that before. That's awesome. Okay.
I play stuff on Switch. You never heard that before?
No, that's awesome.
I don't give a shit what console your game is on, except for PC. So it could be on anything and I'll play it. I don't care. And this is why, like, I've played PS4 more now. It's because of, like, games like this. Like, Journey was a PS3 game, and Last of Us was a PS3 game. So they started already winning me over back then. And then God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, like this is why I love Sony.
This last decade for PlayStation has been pretty insane. Like, they and I'm worried about it. I'm honestly worried about Sony going forward because when Sony gets arrogant, you get what the beginning of the PS3 was, which was not great. So we'll see if they keep it going. But yeah, this last decade for them has been really, really hot.
It's because they invested in their studios, and that's 100%. Something Microsoft is doing now. So
finally,
if Microsoft can invest in their studios in the same way that Sony has, man, I can't wait to see what they put out.
Same. Matt, my game of the decade. Are you ready to hear it?
Yes.
You know it. I think you know it, right? What do you think it is?
It's probably an RPG. It's probably a Japanese RPG.
It's not Japanese.
No?
Western game.
It's a Western RPG?
Technically Western. It's developed in Europe.
Developed in Europe.
Poland.
Witcher 3.
Hell yeah, Witcher 3.
I'm excited to start this. Richard was kind enough to gift me a digital copy, which I already have a copy of the game on Switch. No, you
don't.
Switch.
You don't have a... Yeah, which
and
means
Richard
you don't
was
have...
like, nope.
I was like, you don't have a copy of that game.
He got me a code for Xbox, so I'm going to start playing that on Xbox.
Yeah, I think it might work for you too, since you like Odyssey. If you just go in with that same mindset that Odyssey... the toughest part is going to be like... it's not going to be that tough because you watch the show now. So that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, we're going to get into the show later on.
We'll get into that. So the hardest part for me with
Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. Don't even worry about it.
Fucking awesome.
It was on sale. I'm happy to do it. It's my game of the decade. I want everyone to play this fucking game. It's right now on PlayStation and Xbox, the complete edition, $14.99. Pick up that fucking game. It's fucking amazing. Witcher 3. I don't even know where to start with this game. It was just it's so insanely dense. It's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. The music, everything about this game I love to death. I think what did it for me with this game was also the hardest hurdle I had to jump over to get into it. And it's the amount that it demands of you as a player, I guess. Your time. It demands your time and your attention. Because, but if you're willing to give it that time and attention, every single thing you do in this game feels so engaging and so fun. Like the side quests are as good as main quests in other games, which is insane. Like the world that they show you is so huge and expansive, and there's so much like find and look into and explore. And they have these amazing quests that revolve around like upgrading your gear, where you're going to like these different like dungeons and towns and all this sorts of different shit that's like, that you would never see, and you're just doing it to like upgrade your armor and get like a cooler looking armor set.
So this, not to cut you off,
go ahead,
this is why you think I like it, because of Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
I think Odyssey will allow you like to get into The Witcher, because I think The Witcher and Odyssey share so much DNA.
That's what I've heard. That's what's gotten me interested in The Witcher, which before I heard how long it was, and I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck that. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But then when I fly out 140 hours through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and somebody's like, oh, The Witcher's like, you should play that if you liked Odyssey.
To me, Odyssey took so much of like, Witcher came out, and then Odyssey was like, okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. In terms of like the story and like the way it does its like RPG elements and stuff. Thing is, Odyssey you might end up liking more because of the way you can like traverse stuff. You can climb anything, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But like just the world of The Witcher is just so cool. You're playing as you're this mercenary monster hunter, basically. Like,
Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, like who the character at this point, I'm sure. But you're
got another friend.
Yeah, she's hanging out. I don't know if you'll see her. They can see on the couch, right?
Yeah, I think they can see a little bit on the couch.
Up, Sierra.
Hello, Sierra. She demands attention.
Yeah, she's a slut.
Much like The Witcher.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the same thing. But I don't know. I've never been so enthralled with every moment of playing a game, I guess. Like I couldn't wait to just turn it on, boot it up, and just sink 8 hours into it, 10 hours into it.
How much time did you put into it?
I think I hit my like 150 hours was my total.
Oh shit. Okay. So.
And I haven't even come close to like seeing everything the game has to offer.
Did you beat the game? Did you beat the main storyline?
I beat the main storyline and all the DLCs. And dude,
there's still side quests and stuff you need to complete.
Oh my god, there's so many side quests I can still do. And the crazy thing is the side quests have so much. Like they're fully voice acted. They're animated. Like they have a story to them. Each story.
This sounds a lot like Odyssey, man.
I'm telling you,
it does sound a lot like Odyssey.
Each side quest you do has like its characters that you meet and get to know and understand, and then you get to like the end of a side quest and you're like, fuck, dude, that just happened. Man, like care. Yeah, exactly. You give a shit like, wow, she did what to her fucking husband? Are you what a maniac? Like it's just so much crazy shit, and it's just like all these little tapestries that you go through, and then you beat the game and you start that first DLC called Hearts of Stone, and it breaks your fucking heart, dude. Like the story that you go into, like the characters that you meet, the motivations that these characters have, like the thing that The Witcher does that I feel like no other game really like touches on, except maybe Red Dead Redemption 2, is the neutrality of morality, I guess. Like there's people, like every game I feel like you play has a moral tilt. It's like, this is good, this is bad.
So this is saying that, morality is more in like your eyes, like what you think is 100%, moral?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And like there's so many times where Witcher proposes you a choice and there is no right choice. This
reminds me of Palpatine, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, like
when he says something like "good as a point of view," or he says something along those 100%. Lines. Like,
yeah, in episode 3 for sure.
Yeah.
So I think Witcher just does that, like that ambiguity of morality so well. And it's not even that like you make a choice and you go, fuck, I fucked up, I made the wrong choice. You make a choice and you go like, that was the best choice I could make. And sure, like I could see someone's logic with the other choice they could have made, and that's cool. But for me, that's the choice I made. And I think I feel good about it. And like, they just take that to such ridiculous levels every so often, and it's really cool. Hearts of Stone focuses so much on
that's the second
ambiguity.
Expansion?
The first one. Fucking Wine and Blood and Wine.
That's the one I was thinking of. Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine is insane because it's a whole new fucking game. It's
I heard it's like as big as like the first one.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like a whole new map with like a whole new story, and then it gives you this perfect end cap.
They gave that away for free too, right? Like if you bought the game, is that correct? Or did you have to pay for that?
You had to pay for that one, but they gave you a lot of DLC for free for just buying the game that you can still download for free if you own the game. Yeah, like, just hairstyles and stuff. Oh, CD Projekt Red, dude, like as a developer, just so generous. Here's the soundtrack in the game, packaged in your game. Just have the soundtrack here.
In the physical copies, they literally put a thank you card in like every copy.
Thank you so much for buying your game. Here's the map of the game. Like they just gave you so much. Here's a bunch of free DLC for buying the game. They're like, I don't know, in a sea of developers and publishers who are just trying to get your money any little way they can. CD Projekt Red stands as that developer who just wants to give you as much as they can for the $60 that you gave them.
So I'm imagining you're not excited for Cyberpunk at all.
Cyberpunk 2077 is almost my most anticipated game of the next year, and the only reason it's not is because there is a juggernaut of nostalgia called Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's the only reason that 2077 is not my most anticipated game of 2020.
I haven't played Cyberpunk. I did play Final Fantasy VII, and I can understand that. Final Fantasy VII was awesome.
Yeah.
The demo of the remake, anyways.
I mean, the fact that like you someone who's like is not attached to Final Fantasy VII, is that excited for it, is gets me very excited. Matt, we are about an hour and 17 minutes in. What do you think? Bathroom break?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Guys, we will be back with the rest of our podcast in just a moment. Are we back?
We're back.
Hello, guys. Had a nice little bathroom break. Matt, we got to jump into news.
Yeah, I only got like 2 stories here. Nothing big is happening anyways, so we're just going to have 2 quick stories. First up, Vince Zampella takes over DICE LA. He plans to change the name of the studio, and they're working on an unannounced game.
Yeah.
In case you're worried, he will still remain the head of Respawn Studios.
Cool. That's cool. I don't know. Do you know what like this implies? What the implications are here?
I think it implies that Star Wars and
Apex
Legends sold extremely well.
Have both been doing very well.
And are the only reason EA stock didn't tank.
Yeah.
Imagine them not being there in 2019.
I mean, they still have FIFA.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They do have FIFA and Madden.
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean,
without Anthem, with Anthem doing as poorly as it did, sure.
Anthem did very well actually. Not everything.
It
was like the 10th best-selling game of the year.
It sold very well, but like it did not meet expectations because it didn't have that follow through. Because they wanted to sell Anthem, but they wanted people to keep buying shit for Anthem.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and it did not do that at all. Like people, like there was a mass exodus on that for that game. So. I think they're very disappointed. I think they're very
piggyback
upset.
on that point.
Yeah,
this is probably them saying, okay, the community, the gamers, that wear the gaming socks.
Yeah,
Puma, still waiting on you.
I got gaming socks on right now.
You got some Pumas on there?
No, I got some Legend of Zelda.
It's not the same, Richard.
From
These
the
are
holidays.
Official gamer socks that you can wear. When you go pro.
All right, we had a whole fucking segment on the game. Yeah, no, we're not doing this again.
But
I entertained you enough.
I think the reason is to appeal to gamers. Be like, look, we sold Apex Legends, which had a good critical and commercial, and the gamers liked. Same thing with Star Wars. They made a single player Star Wars.
No
game.
microtransactions.
No microtransactions. No bullshit. So I think they kind of were like, can you make another studio and keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, can you get us back on track and keep winning us a good favor? Right.
I think they need good PR.
Yeah.
More than anything else, and this is what's getting them that. Because you're right, FIFA and Madden, they're still going to make the money that they make. Period.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see someone doing the right thing, getting rewarded for that, and I'm all for Vince getting more power within EA. That sounds awesome.
As long as he keeps making correct decisions, absolutely.
Yeah, obviously.
But I mean, the guy hasn't made a bad game. He made Modern Warfare 2. He made Titanfall. He hasn't made bad games.
His babies are good babies.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think he made the first Call of Duty too. I think he made Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He's made some of the best Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you not interested in this conversation, Sierra?
Someone's angry we're not paying attention to her.
You took your blanket off. So she's upset, grilling at us. So, let's keep what else, man? Is there anything else you want to say about You're Gonna Fall? This is what we wanted. This is what we were hoping for.
She's wanted to be on YouTube for the longest time.
Yeah, so
every time we start recording, she jumps in this room and we close the door. This time we left it open so you can see Sierra.
Sierra, good girl. Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about this specifically? I think it's really cool. I'm happy about it.
I think it's a smart move.
I hope we see more cool single player games from his brain.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to know how to get a team to make a quality game, and that's really what EA needs to do.
Although some would argue that Fallen Order is not the most quality game in terms of how buggy it is. That said, Fallen Order was made, I think from what I hear, on a pretty tight schedule.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's that too. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, cool. It's cool. We'll get there. That's all I would have to say about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to get to the next story?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We have a lot of other stuff to go through, so if we burn through these stories, I'm not upset by that. So the next one, we have IGN changing its review score scale. It's moving from a 100-point scale to a 10-point scale. No 0.5s either.
No.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They've done 0.5s before, though.
Yeah. But that was because it was rolled into their old scale, right?
No, they changed their scale before.
Oh, okay. So they had 0.5 before.
At some point, I think when Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty were there, they were doing only point scales, 9.5, 10, 8.5, 8,
so
7
a 20-point scale.
Yeah, 20-point scale.
Okay, interesting. So now they're at a 10-point scale, which is pretty cool. I mean, there's not too much to say about this, but there's a lot to say about review scales.
Right.
And what do you think? What? I don't even know how to pose this question in terms of review scales and stuff. Do you think, where do you want to jump in from this? What?
I want to say two things.
Okay.
So I'll just say them and we can go from there.
I like that.
I still like looking at review scores because I don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
And if I can scroll, I like looking at two things.
Yeah.
I like scrolling to the bottom, reading the synopsis paragraph.
Okay, I
always read the synopsis paragraph.
That's smart.
Yeah, the last, typically if you don't know, which you should know, the last or the second to the last or maybe the last two paragraphs or one paragraph is a synopsis of everything they said in the article.
Yeah, it just closes things up. If
so
they're a good writer.
I always read that.
Yeah.
And I look at the score. And the score usually has details pros and cons and stuff like that in there sometimes. But I still look at that.
Yeah.
And I still think a ton of people still look at that, which is why
I do.
They still have a review score.
Yeah.
The times are changing. YouTube influencers and all that stuff. They're becoming more and more powerful.
Let's plays
with showing off games and having an influence on the industry.
Yep.
And they don't. A lot of them don't give review scores. They just say, "I like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this."
Here's me playing this game. Gauge how good this game is based on my reaction playing this game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting move. I always thought the 100-point scale is kind of dumb. What is the difference between an 8.3 and an 8.5 really? What really is?
It's overkill.
Yeah, it's overkill, and review scores in general are kind of silly too because Just because a game's 7 doesn't mean you're going to enjoy it less than a game that, gets a 9 objectively. There's plenty of games like that for me that are 7s that I enjoy way more than, an objective 9.
I like a lot of different 7 games.
Yeah.
It just depends on the game.
It happens. I think there's this guy, Michael Huber from Easy Allies.
I know what you're going to say.
He likes swimming in 7s.
Yeah.
I'm all about that statement. I support it 100%, and I do it all the time. Nier Gestalt, dude, that's a 7. That is a 7 of a video game, but holy fuck, it's one of my favorite games ever. So ultimately, like, your review scores are pretty silly. But then again, you have people who are redefining like what these numbers mean, like a Michael Huber, who's going to say, you're swimming in 7s. You can define a 7 as like this thing that's really great in its own way.
I think Polygon or Kotaku, one of them got rid of review scores in the past 6 months or so. I want to say it's Polygon.
I feel like more and more people have. I don't think Kotaku has had one for a while.
Oh, really?
So I'm assuming if it's a recent thing, then Polygon was probably the other one. Jim Sterling got rid of review scores. He just does reviews without them.
He still gives them sometimes, and they're hilarious.
Oh, really?
He'll like, play some shit game, and they'll do one thing he likes. Like 10 out of 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, his joking ones. Donkey, who's like a huge,
I've heard
YouTube
of this
guy. He's, people love him to death. He always does like a joke review score, like 2 dogs out of whatever, like just stupid,
some
like
bullshit.
Yeah, just obviously subverting this idea that like scores are important. But I still like them. I like looking at that number. It's just fun. It feels good.
It's a quick way to get a point across.
Yeah, exactly. And it helps us with our games that we play, Matt.
I think those paragraphs leading up to that are more important. So I
100%.
I'm with people not wanting to do review scores and just giving their opinion. I think that's probably the best way to go about it, is to just you listen to somebody, you hear their opinion. I think that's the best way to go. You need to find somebody whose opinions align with you.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to come listening to me talking about JRPGs.
Yeah, you're not going to get the right, like, if you like JRPGs, you're not going to get the right viewpoint from him.
Right.
For sure.
If you want to know about, like a first-person shooter, sure. You can get my opinion on that. Once you know which first-person shooters I even like.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there might be ones that I like and you
100%.
don't.
Yeah.
But it's getting familiar with those people. You get on a personal level with those people, essentially. That's probably the best way to do it, but that does take time.
Yeah.
If you're reading a review,
and
you don't know the person, those synopsis paragraphs to me are the best way to get what that game is about.
And I think the scores themselves are important because I do like aggregate scores. I do
like a Metacritic.
I do like looking at Metacritic or OpenCritic. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a value to that. So
I can understand that.
Maybe it's not the most valuable thing, and I think people put way too much value on it for sure. Like
giving bonus checks to fucking developers over their Metacritic score is bullshit.
Fucking New Vegas, Obsidian, that happened with them.
Insane.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's fucking stupid. Some people put too much emphasis on it, but I think for like the casual consumer, I think it's good to have. I love it for video games and like my fantasy league that I showed you. That was
cool.
Yeah, that's really fun too.
Nerdy as fuck, but cool.
Fantasy Critic, shout out to them. I'm in a fantasy league about like video game scores, and that's really exciting for 2020. But yeah, so. I don't know. What else should we say about IGN's new scale?
I mean, it's up to, it's in the eye of the beholder. Some of you guys are going to want to get rid of review scores. Some of you guys are going to want to keep them. I mean, I don't really care if there's a number there or not. Like, give me your synopsis paragraphs, because I don't have time to read your 15-page review. I need to know what it's about, if it was good, and why you liked it. Those are the things I care about.
I love those like 5-minute video reviews that kind of like just take
I'd be fine with that.
Dude, those are good. That's Easy Allies does some good stuff like that. I love their reviews, or formerly game trailers is what they were. They did the same thing, like 5-minute reviews.
I just need something to respect my time, because I don't have time, Richard, to read like pages and pages of articles.
No, I feel you.
Just tell me what it's about. Is it good?
Does it suck?
Why is it good? Why does it suck? Cool. That's all I need to know.
Matt, we have an entry in a long-standing or new entry in a long-standing segment.
We do.
Shit or the shit.
The shit.
The shit. You wrote the with 2 E's again.
Fuck yeah, I did.
I told you to stop doing that.
You are wrong, sir. Wrong. There are 2 E's in the word the.
No, that doesn't work. That word doesn't.
That's how it works.
You're talking about the,
Richard,
as in you.
This is scientific proof.
God damn it,
of
Matt.
how words work.
God fucking damn it. All right,
you got science in the letters.
This is games, Xbox Games with Gold versus PlayStation Plus edition of shit or the shit. So how this works is we go through each one of these and we say if it's the shit or shit. Or sorry, backwards. We say if it's shit or the shit.
Yes. There you go.
Shit being bad, the shit being a positive.
Yes.
How should we do this?
Let's just go through them in the order they're written.
I'll let you go.
Xbox games with gold. Sticks. Shards of Darkness. Shit or the shit?
Matt, I did a thing where I didn't look up the games at all. Which probably means
fine.
shit for Sticks, Shards of Darkness. I'm looking at images. This is how I decide whether or not a game is good or not.
Let's be clear real quick. We're not judging these games as if we played them.
No.
It might be just we don't care. So if we say shit, it's not we're not calling your game shit. We're just saying it's either actual shit that we think your game is shit, or we just don't care.
Yeah, if I say it's the shit, or if I say it's shit, that probably just means I think it's garbage. It's got, I don't know what the fuck this game is, man. Do you know anything about Sticks, Shards of Darkness?
I think you answered your own question.
All right, it's shit. It's shit.
There we go.
I feel terrible. It looks kind of interesting.
Batman: The Telltale Series, another games with gold.
Hey.
I heard some of them were good.
That's the shit. That's cool.
I heard it was broken. I'm gonna go with shit.
I'm sure they kind of like fixed up the bugs.
I think there was some seriously broken shit in that game, so I'm gonna go with shit just because of that.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna go with the shit. I think that's I hear really good things about the story. Good. I hear it's phenomenal. But also, if you have PlayStation Plus, you already have that, baby. I have it. I own that from PlayStation Plus.
You know what you don't own?
Tekken 6.
Tekken 6. Games with gold.
Did you play Tekken 6?
Nope, don't know much about it.
Shit or the shit?
Tekken 7 is supposed to be very, very good, Richard. I know very little about Tekken 6, though. So I'm guessing it's probably not that great, but I don't know. I do like Tekken, though. I think Tekken's a decent fighting game.
I need a hard opinion from you. This is a PlayStation 3 game, by the way.
He's going to go look at the Metacritic why I guess incorrectly. I'm going to say the shit.
It's got a 79 on Metacritic.
I'll take it.
You know what? I'll say the shit. Yeah, sure. A Tekken game. You get to play Tekken.
There you go.
It's not the newest one, sure. But it's a fucking entry in a story franchise, and it's free.
Go download your free game. Put it in your library. Even if you don't download it now, you'll have it there for later.
Exactly. The last game here is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, Matt. Shit or the shit?
It's the OG trilogy. It is the shit, but there's a caveat.
Yeah.
They made a collection called, the Complete Edition, which comes with this and the prequels.
No.
Why is that not in there?
Oh, yeah. I see what you're talking about.
I'm half in between. I'm half shitting and half saying the shit.
I'm going to say shit because
why the fuck is that version not in there?
Just put the whole version in. And also, I never played original trilogy. And
you never played it?
I played the first one, which was amazing. Was the second one good?
The original trilogy.
For Lego Star Wars. Did they keep the magic?
Episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I know
you never played 4, 5, and 6?
I never played that Lego Star Wars. No, I played only the first one.
Disappointing.
Was the second one good?
You? Yeah.
Okay. Did they keep the magic?
It was better than the prequels. They didn't have a fucking Jar Jar Binks Lego character.
That's why the fucking original trilogy or the first game is great. All right, so that's overall, Matt, shit or the shit on games with gold. Or should we do that at the end?
God, let's do it at the end.
Okay. PlayStation Plus. Fuck, are you serious? Nathan Drake Collection is on here?
Yes.
I just bought that shit.
I have.
You sold it to me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you sold me it. Not you personally, but I bought it at your store.
Oh. Okay, because I think I have that game. I think I have a physical copy of that game I got for free somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Sony gave it to me or if I got it from a convention or something. I have no fucking clue. But I have a physical copy of that game that I never opened.
Yeah.
Now it will remain sealed forever.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Right. I'm just gonna keep that value up.
Shit or the shit?
No, it's the shit.
This is shit, dude.
An HD version of the fucking 3. If I were to go back and play the games, I'm not playing them on PS3 now.
No, exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Honestly,
especially number 1. Jesus.
Yeah.
Graphically, I love number 1, by the way.
Too.
But it's not that pretty. Was this a launch game on PS3?
No.
The first
close
one.
to it. Close to it. They were trying to hit launch, but
it does not graphically hold up very well.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think it looks still pretty okay for being an early PS3 game.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect PlayStation Plus game. Because you already played
value.
You played those games. You don't want to buy them on PS4. It seems like a chore to do it, but you own them on PS3. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Here, just have them." You're like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let me just."
Yeah,
have
if you
them.
count the PS3 ones, now I own that game 3 times.
Yeah.
I own all three of those games 3 separate times.
That's great.
Technically.
So yeah, I agree. That's the shit. And then we have Goat Simulator.
That's a fun afternoon game.
This is the shit. That's such a cool. Shit. Yeah, that's something I want to play. That's something I'm interested in. It's zero commitment. I'll download it and I'll play it.
You can play it for half an hour and then go fuck off, and then you can come back and be like, there's something else to do here. All right.
Exactly.
My nephew came over for the holidays, going through my Xboxes, games and stuff. He's like, oh, what games do you have?
Yeah.
And I'm going through the list, and it's like, killing a bunch of people, killing a bunch of people, killing a bunch of people. Like, I'll find something. Just give me a few minutes.
Just give me a second. I got a lot of games here.
So they played Fishing Frenzy, I think is what it's called, or something like that. It's like the big fish eats the smaller fish. It was actually a fun game.
Episode 1?
Fishing Frenzy?
There's always a bigger fish?
No, it's just called Fishing Frenzy.
You said a big fish eats a smaller fish.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 1.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Straight over my head that time. Anyways, they played that for a little bit, and then they were like, oh, we're looking for something else. Saw the old Goat Simulator on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Because that was an Xbox game for the gold at one point, because I wouldn't have paid money for that. I was like, oh, I had fun with this once. They're not murdering. Well, they're not murdering people.
You're
I'll let him
glitching
play
out.
this.
Okay.
He loved that game.
Oh, really?
Dude, he played it we probably went to bed at midnight that night, and for 3 hours he was like,
That's
oh my god, he was just laughing every time the goat would mess him.
Hilarious fucking game.
He loved it.
That's pretty great. Yeah. So between Xbox games with gold and PlayStation Plus, which is the shit and which is shit?
PlayStation Plus wins again.
They usually do. Yeah, they have less games, but it always ends up being something that I would actually want to play, as opposed to what Xbox games with gold.
Look, Lego Star Wars 2, or Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy, is great.
Yeah.
But there's no reason it shouldn't be the complete edition.
Yeah,
that's my main problem with that. Sticks, I don't care about. Batman.
Also, Tekken 6, I know I gave it a pass.
If it was 7, that would be way more impactful.
Yeah. Who wants to go back and play 6 right now? Who
Not
wants
me.
to do that? Nobody. No one's going to do that. Fuck
But
that.
you know what I did, Richard?
If you give me Street Fighter 4, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face, you fucking idiot. That's what I would say.
But you should still download it.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, download it. Why not? What were you gonna say?
It's free.
It's free. It's free. All right, and that all brings us to probably the topic I'm most excited for, Matt.
I thought we were going to spend the most time here, but we're an hour and a half in, and we just got to this now.
We just got here, exactly. It's going to be a meaty podcast. I'm excited. This is Predict. We're doing a new entry in Predict the Metacritic. Last time we did this, it was for the month of November, I think, because November was fucking crazy stacked. I wanted to do the first 4 months of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do January, February, March, and April. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games.
There's a lot more games than
There's
this
a lot
coming
more
out,
games.
by the way.
These are just the highlights, the ones I really want to do predictions on. And then by the time these 4 months, we'll wrap up, we should be back into regular podcasting, and we can go over this, and we can have someone eat a dog biscuit again.
Indeed.
I'm excited. All right, Matt, starting with January.
I'm not worried. Oh, no. Okay.
We have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot coming out January 17th.
Yeah, 17th.
Yeah, I should put
That's
all
the
the
correct
dates on
day.
here. Matt, what is your Metacritic prediction here?
So we didn't look at anything this time.
Nope.
Neither I nor Richard looked at
And we're
any
taking
kind of
turns.
history.
You get to pick first, and I pick first on the next one.
Okay.
Back and forth.
So I'm going first on this one?
Yes.
Okay. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is an RPG. So I'm not going to care about this game. And it's also Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feeling out the vibe. There's Dragon Ball fans, which I think the game's going to sell well because it says Dragon Ball. But we're not talking about sales. We're talking about critical
We're talking
reviews.
about how people are going to react to this game.
I feel like it's going to be a bit mixed.
You think
because
so?
it's not a fighting game. It's not what people are used to. It's been kind of quiet lately.
Matt, do you know what else is coming out? Or do you know what this game is about?
I know it's a Dragon Ball Z RPG.
Dude, you get to play through the entirety of the Dragon Ball Z saga. You get to play through the anime. People have been asking for this for a while. The only game that has done this is Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, and those were on the Game Boy Advance, split into 2 separate games.
I'm worried about the execution.
Me too. And that's all. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Yeah. you could say what you want. I am worried about the execution. I got to go lower.
Okay.
On this game than if it was like. There's no hype around it right now. The people that are excited are Dragon Ball fans, not RPG fans.
That's true.
That's what I'm seeing. And if I was seeing the RPG fans come out of the woodwork for this game, I would probably say it's a higher rated game. But because of that, the hype is low. I'm going to say like... Oh god, this is a tough one.
This is one of the hardest ones to score, I think, because I think it can go either way depending on like how forgiving people are willing to be. I have my score. I'm ready.
79.
Okay, I'm going with 85 is my my score.
I almost went 81.
Yeah, I think that would have been a clincher because I think you would edge me out wherever wherever the score.
I almost went 81. I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I don't have faith in this. Other than the Dragon Ball fans.
I think I don't know. I the recent trailer I saw looks really good. There's just some gameplay shots I've seen that just look janky and weird and empty, but like there's also like a lot of things that sound cool. Like there's gonna be like side quests that are written by Akira Toriyama, the original writer, that are gonna expand the universe a little bit, so that could be kind of cool. Sometimes the combat looks really good, and the fact that you get to play as all these different characters throughout the entire like anime, like that could be really fucking cool. The novelty of that alone might be awesome. That said, the developer who's working on this are the people who did the Xenoverse games, and those games are fucking dog shit. They're so bad.
The Dragon Ball fans will come out.
Yeah, they will. It's gonna sell. This game will sell so well.
But like I said, the RPG fans are. Look, that's what I use to gauge the hotness with.
Yeah.
And I'm not having people like dying for this in my store. I listen to quite a few podcasts.
Yeah.
No one is talking about
Everyone's
the game.
a little like worried about this game.
Everybody's looking right through January. Everybody's looking straight the fuck through February and right on to Final Fantasy, Doom, and Animal Crossing. Exactly. That's where people's focuses are.
All right. Well, next up we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore.
Now, my understanding is that this game was highly rated in the beginning.
Yeah.
And now they're making like an upgraded version for the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't think much is going to change.
Okay. You think it's going to be a pretty high score still?
I think it's probably going to remain a pretty high score, but it's going to get dinged a few points because they're not going to change a huge amount.
Yeah.
It's a Switch port.
Yeah.
With some bells and whistles.
Extra content and
sure.
stuff,
yeah. Sure, there's some extra content. I don't know how much, to what degree. It's actually your turn to go first, though.
Oh, that's true.
So before I say anything, I'm going to let you take it away.
Let's see. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I can't remember the Metacritic score it had. I think it was pretty high. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be reasonable. I feel like I always bet with my heart on these fucking games, and it fucks me over. And I'm going to say that's going to land right at that 83. 83, I think, is where it's going to end up. Matt, where are you at?
I'm going to go 88.
88. Whoa. Betting high. I feel terrible. As an anime fan, I feel disgusted.
I think the first one had like pretty damn high reviews.
I think so too.
And I'm kind of say that it's going to stay right around there.
Yeah. I kind of want to look at what
I think it would drop if it didn't do anything new, but it's doing something new, which is going to boost it back up to being like where it was before.
Yeah, it's a balancing act with like a re-release, right? Like how much new shit are you adding? Does it warrant that same high score that you had before?
And I think it will warrant enough for it to get up there, but not like melt people's brains.
Add an 80 on Metacritic.
Oh, fuck. I'm screwed.
I think we both.
Mistakes were made, ladies and gentlemen.
But it might also get the bump of being on the Switch. People might just be excited to see a Switch game.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, let's hope.
What's the next one we got on here?
My God. Dreams.
That is coming out on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Is this game going to get reviewed like a normal game?
It'll have a Metacritic score.
Will it?
Yeah. Of course.
Because it's like almost like an RPG maker or something like that.
That I'm not worried. The only thing I thought you were talking about, like the fact that it's an early access, basically.
No, I don't care about that. I mean, it's not.
No,
is it a game?
Yeah, because it's gonna have like a campaign or whatever. People are gonna review this game. It's gonna have a Metacritic score.
Okay. So I get to go first.
Yeah.
75.
75. Shit. I didn't even really think about what I want to rank this. Dreams. I think people are gonna be impressed by the novelty. It's been out for a while though, so people aren't gonna be that impressed by it. Bum. I'm gonna go solid 82. I'm feeling like you know what? Reviewers, journalists are cowards and they don't review high or low anymore.
Yeah.
Shots fired, journalists. Next up, coming out on February 25th, about 10 days later, we got Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection. I can't fucking wait for this game.
I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with Mega Man. I had never played any of these games.
These are some of my favorite, like, traditional 2D style Mega Mans. You play as Zero. You have a sword.
Are you more interested in these than like you were like the original Mega Mans?
Yep. 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I love these.
Is it because of your age, or is it just?
I think
you feel like they were just a better game.
Both. I think they're.
Thank you for answering my question.
I think they're more fair as far as games go. I think they're more well balanced. They're prettier games. They're cooler. Like the art style's like better looking, I think. And
do these look more like? These don't look like the NES games. These look more like the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, they look
games?
more like Mega Man X.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. They have like more of that art style. I love these games to death. And yeah, also there's a nostalgia factor here. I played these when like I was pretty young and I was having a really good time. This was
GBA?
This was my generation's Mega Man. Like that, I grew up with.
I remember those coming out.
I'm gonna guess. That said, you know what? I think a lot of people have missed out on these games, and I think of all the legacy collections that have come out, this is the one that the most new people are gonna play. The most people are gonna the people that are gonna play this are gonna be the people that have never played it ever. Whereas I think people playing Mega Man X and the regular Mega Man Legacy Collection, they played it already. They were revisiting. I think this will be new and refreshing for people. I'm gonna guess 86.
79.
Whew. That's probably right. And then that takes us to March, Matt, and we're starting with a big one on March 3rd, 2020. Nothing else matters except this game. Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out.
This is a tough call, Richard.
Yeah, it is.
You know why it's a tough call?
Why?
I played the game already.
Mm-hmm.
At least the demo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough call because the demo was fucking fantastic.
Yep.
From an outsider.
Yeah.
They did announce that there's going to be like a traditional way to play this game, like turn-based.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fine for those people.
Yeah.
My concern is how many of these motherfuckers that have played this game before are going to be so pissed that they're not getting an entirety of a game.
They can suck my John.
There's going to be some people that can't get over that,
yeah,
though.
For sure.
There's going to be some people that have such a strong nostalgic feel for Final Fantasy VII that they're like, oh, okay, this is great.
Yeah.
But you're getting like, what, maybe a third of the game?
Yeah.
Is that what it is, approximately?
No.
Is it even less?
You mean like compared to like the original game?
Right, because you're just in Midgar.
So Midgar comprises about 8 to 10% of the original game.
Holy shit! I didn't realize it was that low.
That is the point that you need to be making. So that's the worry. The concern.
My in my brain after playing the game, it's like this is gonna score fucking astronomically high.
But hearing that,
and now it's like, oh boy.
So here's the thing, and I'll do this before you get your score.
8 to 10%. Are you fucking kidding me?
Midgar itself in the original game takes roughly, depending on how slow you take it, 4 to 6 hours to get through in like a 70-hour game.
And they're saying this is going to be maybe like 30 hours or so?
Exactly. So what they're doing is they're taking Midgar, and I assume they're not going to do this level of like expanding with the other regions because I think the rest of the game is big enough that you don't have to do that. But what I think they're going to be doing with Midgar, what they've said they're going to do is expand the hell out of it. And you're going to be spending a lot of time there. And they're going to flesh out Midgar so that section is its own game entirely.
Right.
How people are going to take that, I don't know.
That's my problem.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good point. So, yeah.
You know what? Fuck it.
Bitches,
sometimes you just got to gamble.
Okay. My score is locked in, by the way.
90.
98.
Holy shit! Oh! 98!
98, baby.
Whoa! I wasn't ready for that. I thought, whoo!
Listen, I know I said I was going to bet mentally and logically, but I can't when it comes to Final Fantasy VII. It's all heart, baby.
98.
98. I may be being a little generous. I don't think it's going to be... Genuinely, I don't think it's going to be lower than 96.
Let's put into context 98.
Yeah, sure.
Ocarina of Time was a 97?
No, 98.
What's a 98?
It's one of the few 98s. It's like there's like 13 of them.
What, The Last of Us might be up there, maybe?
I don't even think so.
No?
I think it's
GoldenEye?
I don't know.
There's not many 98s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Richard is
Breath of the Wild almost got there, but Jim Sterling had to give it a 7, and that brought it down to 97.
But his reviews weren't even like...
They counted. They
counted
back
his
then.
review?
Yeah, because he would do scores.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they counted his review.
Wow.
But back then he had like a serious part of his website was like genuine reviews, and he would give them actual scores. That game should have a 98, but it doesn't.
For reference, I watch a lot of Jim Sterling stuff. I love most of his shit.
Yeah.
He didn't like it because of the breaking weapons.
Yeah, he got really
he had
upset.
a real problem with that, which I can understand.
Yeah.
But wow, 98.
Yeah, genuinely, I think it will get at least a 96. I really think. I know I'm buffing it up a little because it's my the game
I'm genuinely worried about those people that we talked about though. I'm generally worried about fuck you.
Yeah.
There's only a fraction of the game here.
I think those people are going to be out there and they're coming with that mentality, but then they're going to finish that game and be like, I just spent 40 hours playing this game. And they did expand. How can you really be that upset when you left with 40 hours of enjoyment? As long as that 40 hours is good or 30 hours is good and it feels great and it doesn't feel like it's padded, and it makes Midgar, because here's the thing, Midgar does feel long. It feels like a big part of that game, but it's not. But for some reason, it's so iconic, it's so striking visually that when you play that game for the first time when you're a kid, it just leaves such a mark. So I think expanding it to 30 hours makes that feeling justified when you go back to it, and I think people are going to be happy with it.
If they can complete the story in that, you might be right.
Yeah. Because
the gameplay was so fluid.
Yeah.
It worked so well for a novice like me to be able to understand it immediately.
Yeah, 100%.
If they can nail the story and make it one cohesive experience,
yeah,
maybe they'll get there. But if they can't, that's my other concern.
If it ends
Are they going to just end in some weird way, which is wait for the next one?
Yeah.
How many next ones are there going to be, first of all? And then also, how many people are you going to piss off if you end it that way?
So that's a thing I worry about a lot personally, on a personal level. How many questions am I going to be left with when I finish this game? I'm I want to know exactly how many parts this game is split up into. Because if they take the rest of the game and split into 2 parts, I'm okay with this being a 3-part series. If it takes 5 parts to get through this entire game, that fucking blows. I don't want to be spending that much time waiting for this entire game to come out. I'm okay with Midgar being expanded because I feel like it makes sense. Midgar is huge. You only see a tiny slice of it when you're playing the game. You only see when you're playing the original game, you only see a small, segmented, very linear section of Midgar, and that's all you get to see. So if there's anything I'm okay with them expanding and blowing up, it is Midgar. But going forward, I don't think they can do that with every section of this game, and they shouldn't. I don't think they will either. We'll see though. We'll see how people respond. Matt, next up we have Ori Will of the Wisps. Ori and the Will of the Wisps for February 11th.
So excited for this game.
Oh, February 11th.
Is it February 11th?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think it's February 11th.
I think they changed that, right? I thought it was
March.
Yeah, I thought it was a March game too. Yeah. March 11th, 2020.
There you go.
Weird. Come on, Google.
Do I go first or do you go first?
I go first.
Okay.
I don't know much about Ori aside from I know the first game scored very highly. I'm going to guess 88 on this. Matt, you have more intimacy with this
I beat
series?
the game. I fucking love the game. This game has been delayed over and over and over again.
Yeah.
93.
Dang.
This game is going to fucking wail. The first one was so good, and Microsoft's given them, so much time. This is not made by Microsoft. This is made by Oh God, I'm gonna forget. I'm not even gonna try. I don't remember the name of the studio, but Microsoft's the one who's pouring the money into the game.
Yeah.
And the fact that Microsoft's like, yeah, do whatever you want, make it when it's ready. Like
It's nice.
I don't know how many times I've played this games at the past 2 GameStop expos. That's how many times it's been delayed.
Damn.
Like
Are
a
you
year and a
serious?
half to
Holy
2 years. Like this game has been delayed that long.
Yeah. I wish I knew more about this game, and like I wish I played it and like could speak on it.
The first story is so like amazing. Like in the first, like when you need to get this on Switch.
I know.
Like,
I'm going to. I'm definitely planning to.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Richard doesn't play on Xbox. He doesn't have an Xbox, but he should play on Switch.
Yeah.
Which is totally acceptable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You are so deeply saddened in the first 5 fucking minutes of this game.
A little Pixar up going on.
Yeah, man. It is like, oh shit, it is gut wrenching.
Yeah.
And like, immediately, you immediately care for these characters in like in the first few parts. Then you start playing the game and you're like, man, this gameplay is really, really solid.
Yeah.
Like really tight gameplay. Like you can control it to the T. And then if you like Metroidvania style games where you go back to different areas and stuff, my God. Yeah, my God, Richard.
People put this up with like Hollow Knight and stuff in terms of quality, and you know that's
when
awesome.
you die, it's your fault, and that doesn't mean it is so challenging at different points. There's parts where I wanted to fucking rip whatever little hair I had left on my head out was.
Yeah.
And I got through that and I was like, oh my God, you feel like a fucking king or like a god. Like holy shit.
Dude, you just need to fucking play Dark Souls
already.
Just do it. You've already played it. You don't realize you've been playing all these games that have been heavily inspired by Dark Souls. You've already played Dark Souls. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it.
Look, I played the demo of Ori and the Will and the Wisps 2 years ago. I played it this past year in 2019. I think I played the same demo from what I can remember.
Yeah.
And it feels more of the same. They don't show you like any story, which sucks.
Yeah.
But that's probably because the story is going to be fucking impactful.
Yeah, they don't want to give it away, and they shouldn't.
But I honestly, if you're asking me what my most hyped games of 2020 are, Ori and the Will of the Wisps may be my number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
You crazy motherfucker.
Dude, it's like top 3 for sure. Like easily in the top 3.
Crazy son of a bitch.
You don't understand how much I love this game.
That's awesome. Dang. I gotta pick that up on Switch, like stat. I'll probably buy it tonight and mess around with it soon. Next up, Matt, Nioh 2, March 13th.
Yes.
Am I first
made by Team Ninja? Did Team Ninja make this?
Sure.
It's made by Tecmo Koei.
Yeah, Koei Tecmo is a publisher, and the developers Team Ninja. Yeah.
Okay.
I only played like the alpha of Nioh, which I thought was really good, really competent. I forget what the original game got in terms of Metacritic, probably like a 80 something. I don't think I've seen enough of this game to say like, wow, they're really changing it up. They're really like expanding what this game is going to be. I'm going to guess 75.
I'm going to go 70. No, wait. Oh. Let me think about this time-wise. Okay. When did the last Nioh come out?
2017. 2 years ago.
So they have 2 years to work on a sequel.
Yeah.
Same engine is probably being used, which makes for a faster turnaround.
Yeah, coming out on PS4.
2 years just seems too fast at this day and age. It seems like most studios need 3 years to really pump out something spectacular.
Yeah.
But are people dying for Dark Souls games? So the last Dark Souls games was essentially like Sekiro?
Yeah, Sekiro.
Okay, and that's going to be almost a year away.
Yeah.
I think people probably eat that shit up, that it's been long enough. Let's give it an 80. Nice round number.
Interesting. I think, put you down for 80. I think Sekiro is going to hurt this game. Because it's so different. I think people are going to go back to Nioh and be like, oh, this feels old. You know, I think people are not going to be impressed by it.
You might be right by that. That might be a good call.
We'll see what happens. March 20th, 2020, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Matt.
And this is me first or you first?
You are first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we skipped the order.
Did we miss it?
I think you went first twice.
Oh shit. Whatever. Fuck it.
Who cares?
I'll
go first. It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Animal Crossings. I am a huge Animal Crossing fan.
Same.
Been playing since the GameCube. I didn't have a 3DS.
Yeah.
I didn't have a Wii U, so I didn't play any of those.
Okay.
Which
really?
Apparently was a good thing that I missed most of those, except for the 3DS.
The 3DS one is really... New Leaf is awesome, yeah.
My favorite one was probably Wild World, which was the DS game. Like, Wild World was
it's a great one.
Excellent.
Great one.
I feel like they're fucking some shit up.
Yeah, dude, I'm worried. I'm so worried about this game.
I love Animal Crossing. I'm still going to buy this. I'm still going to play it. I have some serious concerns with some of the stuff they're doing. I feel like the fans like me are going to be a lot of the people who review the game, and they're going to be a lot harsher than most people would, because there's enough at this point. There's too many fans of Animal Crossing.
There's been such a long wait since New Leaf.
Right.
People have been.
Not only that, when's the last time when there was one on a console?
That's what I'm saying.
The
that
Wii
too.
U,
That too.
Did the Wii U even have a real one, or was it just that bullshit like Amiibo one?
I don't even think. Yeah, it had the whatever. It had Amiibo Festival.
So this is the first one on a console since Wii, because we had one.
Yeah, Wii, and people don't like that one.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it's been a wait. It's been a long wait, and then all we've had is Pocket Camp since New Leaf. I think people are going to be expectations are going to be really high. I don't think they're going to meet them.
I mean, if anybody who can change my mind is Nintendo, but
what do you got?
I don't know. I feel like people are going to be harsher in the game that review it. But it is still Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to get that low, but I don't think it's going to be stunning. I got my score. I'm ready.
78.
All right, I'm at 80. So we'll see. Then we got Doom Eternal coming out on March 20th. Same day as Animal Crossing. This is a hard one.
It's a hard one. Only at this point in time.
This isn't
where
hard.
we are
this
now.
This isn't hard. It's not hard for me.
If this came out in 2017, do you know how easy this would be?
It's not hard for me. It's a 92.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, that's gonna be high. That's gonna be high as fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very high scoring game. I'm not worried. I think
I am so worried.
I think the demo you went through was just a bad trade show demo that wasn't like that. They forced a tutorial in the beginning, and that's why it was so tutorialized.
I can see that.
That's what's going on.
I can see your train of thought. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the demo that I played because they forced me through this goddamn tutorial that took fucking forever, and I didn't even play the game. I didn't get through the demo, which is how long the fucking tutorial was to actually play the game.
Yeah.
That's what Richard was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda has been fucking up tremendously.
Yeah.
Over the past, year and a half, let's say, maybe 2 years. And they fucked up Fallout, and I have no affinity for Fallout when they made Fallout 76. I'm like, whatever. I don't fucking care. Yeah. But they fucked with my Wolfenstein this past year. They fucked Wolfenstein.
It's a little weird.
And now I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's a little weird. That is a little worrisome, for sure. For sure.
You didn't need to change Doom. When you made Doom 2016, you said fuck you to the rest of the industry that was changing things, and you were like, this is where we came from.
Yeah,
this is
who
why
we are.
Right. This is why we are the way we are. This is the way things should be.
Yeah.
And then you fucked up Wolfenstein after you'd done the same thing with Wolfenstein, and then you were like, well, maybe we'll do something different.
Yeah.
Don't give me fucking different. Give me more of the same.
Wait, different's okay. You can do a little different.
No.
Doom was different for like the time that it came out compared to everything else that was around it.
It went like back to its roots though.
Yeah.
That's what Wolfenstein kind of did.
Yeah, 100%.
And then it started to change. And now I'm like, what else are you changing?
It's hard to say if that's Machine Games' fault or Bethesda.
Well, Arcane, the word is Arcane helped them with that game.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Which is what a lot of people are saying. Well, Arcane's fingerprints were all over this game.
Okay, so
that's why it wasn't quite a Wolfenstein game.
But Doom is it all the way. Give me a score.
Dude, it's Bethesda.
Feed me. Give me a score. What do you think?
I still think it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be trash, but I'm concerned about how good it's going to be. And it can't have the same impact that 2016 did because it was fresh.
Yes, it can.
85.
Jetpacks, baby. 85. So Half-Life Alyx, Matt. So I went first last time. Or wait, no. Yeah.
Half-Life
I went
game
first.
Nobody asked
So now
for.
you go first. Oh, dude, come on. Everyone's been... It's like Half-Life 3.
It's VR, though. That being said, the expectations are lower because it's VR, so I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 89.
I have no idea what to bet with this game at all because it's like you said, it's VR. I think it's gonna be a really hard game to get into for people because they don't have the proper hardware. And I don't know what reviewers are gonna do in response to that. If they're gonna feel better because they're like, wow, I'm playing exclusive game that no one else is playing. I'm gonna give it a higher score because it's so different and unique for me. Or if they're gonna realize wow, this is really expensive though. You know, I'm having fun, but it's also I can't ignore how much it would cost a regular consumer, and I need to take that into account with this review. I have no idea what this is going to score. So I'm going to guess. What was your score? Don't tell me your score. I forgot
I don't even remember it now.
I'm gonna guess. I'll put it in the doc when I edit it through. It'll be fine. we'll look at it later. I'm gonna guess just a solid 80. No, it's a Half-Life. People are gonna be like, it's Half-Life. At the end of the day, it's Half-Life. It's amazing. It revolutionizes VR. This is what we've been waiting for. 9.0. 90. I'm gonna give it 90.
I think I said 89.
Oh really?
I think so.
All right, I'll put 89 for now.
Whatever I said before.
Yeah, whatever that was, we'll put that in the doc and it'll be official. Then we have Resident Evil 3 coming out April 3rd, 2020. Resident Evil 2 scored very highly, is what I'll say. I'm going up first. Or wait.
You are.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to guess 88.
Fair.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a little dip. I think people are going to be like, oh, it's kind of the same as Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I think it's also going to take a dip. I also think it's not as strong as a game period as Resident Evil 2 was.
For sure.
So I'm going to go a little bit lower and say an 83.
Okay, that's a good score. This game's on my fantasy league.
It's not. Is it your pick?
It's one of my picks.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope it does well. And then the reason I picked the first 4 months instead of Q1 for 2020, Cyberpunk 2077
is April.
So
is Resident Evil. No, wait, Resident Evil?
Yeah, it's April.
April?
Yeah, it's April.
Okay.
And then Cyberpunk, I forget the exact date. It was April 20th or something? April 16th.
So the only notable game that's not really on here in those first few months is Last of Us 2, which is going to be in May.
May, yeah, exactly. So that'll be next 4 months, I guess. We'll do that at the beginning.
What a way to close out like the big bangers in the first part of the year.
There's some crazy games in these first 4 months. Some crazy games.
And then we'll all buy them again come November when they
re-release on the PS5
and next Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Am I first on Cyberpunk or are you first?
You went first last time.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm first this time. So Witcher, renowned game. Everybody loves CD Projekt Red.
I'm locked in. I got my number.
It's a sci-fi game.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2020. It already feels like the future. People super hyped.
Yeah.
Fucking Keanu Reeves is in it.
Yep.
Very hype.
Yep.
There's more hype around Cyberpunk 2077 than any other game this year. Even more than The Last of Us because it's multi-console.
I think so too.
And it's on PC too.
Is that going to help it or hurt it?
It's going to fucking help it.
Yeah.
This is going to be the best-selling game of the year.
Whoa.
So that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, period. Put a pin in it.
Okay.
It's the best-selling game of 2020.
Okay.
It's Cyberpunk.
You think so?
2077.
Not Last of Us 2?
No. It's only on PlayStation.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Absolutely not.
That's a good point.
It's coming off the heels of The Witcher, CD Projekt Red, all those things I already mentioned.
Because the show Witcher's happening, and they're all playing Witcher 3 right now.
It looks fucking gnarly.
Yep. It's first person only, though. What do you think?
I think some people will get over it.
Yeah.
I think most people will get over it.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I think critics that have a problem with first person aren't going to play it. So it's not going to matter.
Okay.
They've been working on this game for quite a while. The hype is higher than ever. The graphics look amazing. It looks like an interesting story. They have a pedigree. I have more faith in CD Projekt Red than most developers, with the exception of Naughty Dog and maybe a couple of others.
Yeah.
I probably would say even if this game was like the worst game that CD Projekt Red could do, is probably still like an 89.
Okay.
Like if they pooped it out.
Yeah, they pooped it out for sure.
I'm going to say it's going to be a 92.
I'm getting 96.
Okay.
I'm going to go high again. So 92 to 96.
I'm just worried some people aren't going to like certain aspects. That's why I went 92.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I think that's a solid bet. I think that might be a better bet than mine. I think, I don't know. I think the openness of this game is really unprecedented. You know what actually might happen? And this is why I'll take a hit.
It looks fucking awesome.
You know why this might take a hit, though? I think it's going to be really fucking chunky on consoles.
Like, you mean like frame rate?
Yeah, I think performance-wise it might actually have some issues. And everyone's going to be waiting for like the definitive editions on new consoles.
I agree to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
if you're playing this on an original PS4 or an original Xbox One, good luck.
I even think the One X and the Pro are gonna have problems.
The One X has 6 teraflops, and the Pro has like 4 point something teraflops.
Pro has issues with fucking control. Like
I'm not worried about the X.
For sure.
I'm really not. Control didn't have problems on the X.
Yeah.
The X has 2 more teraflops than the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have an Xbox One X,
I don't know what teraflops are,
play it.
Matt. I don't know what they do.
Let's talk about math.
All right, no, let's not. Let's go to
There's
Rediscovering.
Units of power.
Go to Rediscovering.
And if you think of teraflops as units of power, like to the 10th and stuff.
Yeah, and stuff.
Math. There's more power in the Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. It's a more powerful console.
One X than the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I just don't know what flops are. Teraflops.
Gotta have them flops.
Gotta have them flops. I'm all about them flops. No slides
here. You've heard about
here.
the new consoles, right? Word on the street.
Hit me with it. Give me some.
Just some words that I've heard.
Please.
Expectations for the Xbox One X, Series X, that specific console, because they're probably going to have 2 versions.
Yeah, it's Xbox.
12 teraflops. Double the Xbox One X.
What does the Stadia have?
10.
Oh, shit.
Bigger than Stadia after only 1 year on the market.
That's crazy.
PS4 or PS5.
Yeah.
Rumored to have 10 teraflops.
Okay. Oh, so weaker than the sex box.
Rumors. I believe them though.
I'll believe any rumor.
I believe it because they spent so much money marketing the Xbox One X as the most powerful console.
I think they're like
that
about
Xbox
that,
does not want to lose that.
Yeah, I think they like having that a lot. I think it feels good for them to say. I think they're willing to have 2 consoles, one that's cheaper, one that's more expensive, like a high tier platform that's like $600.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I thought like for a while they're gonna try to match PlayStation's in the price. Now I think they're saying fuck it.
Let's go high.
Xbox One Series X the PlayStation 5 might be $400. The Series X might be $500. And then the Xbox will also have one that's $300.
They'll have like a cheaper version.
Yeah,
I can see that for sure.
Something like that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see how 2077 ends up on my, because that's what I'm gonna end up playing it on, is on my Pro. So I hope it's.
I gotta get them flops on that X, man. I gotta flop them X's.
You'll have a better experience with it, for sure.
I mean, graphically looks amazing, but I'm sure everything we've seen is on like a high-end PC.
100%. Yeah,
it's not on any console.
And it's probably like a really expensive PC at that too.
A $2,000-$3,000 PC. Sure.
Yeah. Matt, we got a little rediscovering retro that we did. Too. A lot of callbacks to some old segments on this episode.
This was a callback. We first got the Sega Genesis Mini back in August.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about this Mini.
We posted a thing on Twitter like, hey, what do you guys want us to see? And one person posted us to play Kid Chameleon.
I think it was J. Hunter Pearson.
I think so.
I believe that was who said Kid Chameleon.
So it might have taken us like 4 or 5 months.
But we played it.
But we played Kid Chameleon, which I was very familiar with. Richard had no affinity.
First time playing ever. Fun game.
So before I talk, how did you feel about your experience with Kid Chameleon on the Sega Genesis?
Kid Chameleon is a pretty cool game. I was impressed by the environmental design. I think they did a pretty good job at like changing up the vibe of each like area that you went to. We went through like maybe like the first like 4 zones. And it started to get very like metal, like 80s metal, like, a lot of skulls around like the area and stuff.
You have a spiked helmet mask. That
there's that like little rhino mask. It's a cool game. I think there's some like decisions that I feel are like a little questionable with Kid Chameleon. I feel like
what? Like
sometimes like there's like the rocks, like the floating rocks, and then like if you hit under them, they go up and turn into like 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's not a lot of language like teaching that like Kid Chameleon does, where it's like it shows you what a thing will do.
Right, so you have no idea if it's gonna turn into 3 rocks, if it's
like
gonna
what
break,
the hell,
if something else might happen.
You kind of get it as you keep playing, but you look at something like Mario that like isolates something, or Mega Man that isolates a thing, shows you how it works, and then shows you in a more ridiculous like format.
There's more clearer definitions in those games as to how you play it.
Kid Chameleon's a little unpolished in that regard. That said, I think it has a lot of fun things that it does. I like the balancing of the helmets and deciding which one to use. Also, little thing that I didn't like, when you hit the block to have the helmet come down, the power up, it comes down instead of like going up like Mario does, so it can fall on you.
Right,
which is kind of annoying.
Which is what like a thing you need to learn.
You just have to learn to get out of the way,
break the P block,
and get the fuck out of the way,
move out of the way
to see what you're gonna get, because you might get a helmet you don't want.
Right.
So there were little things like that, but overall, I think it's a pretty cool game. I like it a lot. I would play more of it if I owned it. And some of the helmets are really cool, like the fucking Vic Viper tank that you get.
Oh man,
like the Mega
you
Death
were
Vic
so
Viper.
excited
like,
when you got that. You were like, "Oh, I'm in a tank!"
Yeah, it was fucking cool. So there's some really cool stuff.
You're shooting skulls, by the way. You're not shooting bullets out of the tank.
Exactly. So that was cool. I think the level variety was interesting. Like the last one we were doing was like the fucking thing chasing us and we had to just keep running.
Oh yeah, you could it was almost like that Mega Man level where the lasers are shooting at you.
Yeah.
Was that in 2 when the lasers were like coming down and you have to
Yeah, that's Quick Man stage. Yeah. So it's got like that vibe, or like a scroll level in Mario.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah, it just keeps going. You have to just keep going with it. So that was kind of cool. It seems like a game that does a lot of different sort of things, and I appreciated that. I liked it. It was cool. It's a game I would definitely sink my teeth into if I had it. And I did I see all the masks in that game? Do you think?
I think you've seen most of them.
Yeah.
There might be a couple other ones I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while. But
I do like that you can get stuck in a place if you have the wrong mask and you're like, fuck, I should have used another mask to get past this, and there's a lot of different secrets and different ways to go. That was really cool.
Right, if there was a giant wall and you didn't have the climbing mask, you have to go back and figure out how to get
or find a different
mask.
direction to go. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I always love multipath things in levels like that. I think what that game is missing is just a little bit more budget. Yeah, I think they had some really cool ideas in that game. The game is amazing. I think it's graphically, at the time it was one of the best looking Genesis games. Very cool looking Genesis game for sure. The soundtrack is great. It has some great tunes. Maybe not every level, but many of the levels has great music. Yeah, I agree. My if I had a gripe about this game, it would be that the jumping is a little it's floaty. So floaty. It's floaty for sure. It's floaty. That it's a little difficult to control. And not to say that it's bad. It just takes some getting used to. Adjusting for sure. It's no Mario. It's no Mega Man. No, it's not as precise as Mega Man or Mario. It's just so funny that it just took people a while to figure out what feels good in terms of jumping. True. And it's funny to see Mario and Mega Man just nail it. But the other thing about Kid Chameleon is that there are so few games that have so many different changes to both environment and what your character can do, and that actually nail it. And I feel like Kid Chameleon nails it almost all of the time. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like sometimes it feels a little like the Rhino power up. With the spiked I'll try and run through multiple phases of a wall, and it's you can only do one at a time, and then I have to go back and run in again. It's let me just keep running. Let me have my momentum. Okay, I can understand that. Stuff like that. But it was cool. Kid Chameleon. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about it. If you have a Genesis, in my opinion, you need to own this game. How did it feel going back and playing it again? It felt great. Matt knows so much. He's like, dude, right there is so if you just hold a C over here, you can just climb the wall right there, and just so many little things that you just were just so aware of. I played that game a lot. You're like, oh, there's a secret to the right. I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. So Matt just has a really awesome familiarity of this game, and it totally shows how much he played that growing up. I tried to beat it a couple times. The game's 100 levels long. Yeah. It is extremely long. That's wild. I remember playing it when the sun was clearly up. It was probably I probably started that game at 10 a.m. one day when I was preteen. Maybe I was 13 or 12 or I was young. Yeah. And it got dark out, and I still wasn't done beating that game, and I was like, I can't anymore. I had no energy left in me. I was like, this was at least 6 or 7 hours went by, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I give up. But it was a great game, man. Great. That's game. Cool. That's awesome. It was fun to play. I'm glad we did. Good, sure. Good one to bring Rediscovering Retro back for. And it was we didn't play too much, and I would like to go back at some point. Yeah, we played on the mini Genesis, which was the first time we got to use it. I had this for a long time. What did you think of that? I felt that the colors were slightly off. Oh yeah. Not majorly, but just the colors weren't quite what it would be. I guarantee you, if we went back and we played on
the Mega SG, which is the FPGA console that I have.
Yep.
The graphics would be a lot better. Mm-hmm. The colors would be correct.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But what I've heard about the Mini is that the timing is off. Like,
ooh, interesting.
With the response time, like there's
I wouldn't
lag.
be surprised. Yeah.
I didn't really feel that, at least with Kid Chameleon.
For sure.
I've heard the lag is worse on other games. But with Kid Chameleon, I didn't really see a huge lag or anything that was noticeable where I'm like, I can't even fucking play this game.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
It felt good.
We played with the wired controllers that came with the console.
Yes, we did. Can you hook up a regular controller too?
I already bought 6-button controllers for the console because that controller is so much better.
Smart.
Yeah.
Good move. Matt, are you ready to jump into our last segment here?
Yes. So what we are playing and watching. Yeah,
so we have been on break for last time we recorded was like maybe 2-3 weeks ago now.
It's been a while.
So it's been a while since we last recorded, and we got to play quite a bit of stuff.
A lot of the same shit we were already playing, but some new stuff.
There's some new stuff in here. There's plenty of new stuff.
There's things.
And dude, I finished Death Stranding.
How was that ride?
God, I'm not even ready to talk about Death Stranding and finishing it.
Well, let's do a quick recap, real quick.
Yeah.
When we last left, I said I could not deal with the gameplay.
Yeah.
I thought the story was great.
Mm-hmm.
Thought the characters were great, and I felt you were way more positive on it. Like you were down to complete this game.
I was feeling it. Yeah, and last time I brought it up for this segment, I was pretty deep into it. I had opened up a lot of options in terms of like the traversal things I could do.
And you were enjoying the gameplay.
I was having a good time. And to this day, I think the gameplay is actually the strongest part of that game.
I would disagree. But again, I didn't beat the game, so you probably hold more of a stronger opinion.
I have no fucking clue how stupid the story gets in this game.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm not.
That was my favorite part, probably.
Yeah, it starts out in the first like 10 hours of that game. I'm pretty happy with the story. And one thing I will say that I do love to date about Death Stranding's story is I think the world it shows you is very interesting and compelling. I think the idea of the Death Stranding is very cool. This idea that the other world, the realm of death has superimposed itself into our world, and it just created an apocalypse. Like the living world and the world of the dead touched each other, and then things just started to fuck up for everybody. I think that's really cool. I think they show you really cool or explain really cool aspects of that within like the logs that you read and the journals that you pick up. I think the story itself about Sam and the people he meets are dumb. I think so many times in this game does someone say, example, there's a character named Hartman. And
Hartman.
As in heart.
Heart, okay.
Heartman is named.
Isn't there a Hard Man?
There's a
Mega Man.
There's a Die Hard Man in this
Die
game
Hard.
as well.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
We'll go over all the names. Heartman is named Heartman because his heart is shaped like a heart, like a regular cartoon heart.
Not like a human heart.
Not like a human heart. It's shaped like a cartoon heart, and he has to go into cardiac arrest every 21 minutes and dies.
I've heard about this character.
And because of that, he's called Heartman. There's also a man named Die Hard Man, and his thing is that it's hard to die for him, and he has never died because someone always saves him, and he dies hard. So he's Die Hard Man. Matt, there's also someone named Bridges, Sam Bridges, because he's the bridge of people to other people, and he connects people.
Right.
Yeah. What else is there? There's other names, other dumb fucking names in this game. There's a guy named Cliff that follows you throughout the whole game, and you think his name is just Cliff until the very end of the game where you find out Cliff Unger is his name.
Cliff Unger?
Unger is his last name. And you find out that Clifford Unger is his full name. And you find out that Cliff has no future, and he's just a cliff. He says this. He says, I have no future. I was just a cliff. I wasn't looking towards anything. But you, Sam, are a bridge. You're a bridge from one person to another, and I was just a cliff. And like they just do.
What does that have to do with anything?
They just do. So I don't know, dude. It's fine. I get what he's doing. It's like he's doing cute names, and he's trying to do this metaphor. Give everybody's name some deep metaphor.
Why not just give them regular names and have that metaphor still be there?
Yeah, it could, but then you don't have a part where they get to say my name's America Strand and I'm America. Like you don't. So, and I don't know, like as I got closer and closer to the end, I was just waiting for like the big reveal to happen, or like the big like thing
like
to happen,
twist
to, like,
or something?
Yeah, something to like make me feel like this game wasn't like so up its ass. And like as I got further and further into it, I realized that wasn't coming, and then like the game ended, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I don't like I'm. It's weird that like the thing I love about this game is delivering packages.
That's so bizarre to me.
It's to me the best part of the game. I think it's the most unique part of the game, the most interesting part of the game is that they developed a game. They put a game together based around this weird gameplay mechanic of delivering packages, and they made it interesting because they give you zip lines. They gave you this weird online connectivity where you're helping build roads with other people, or building bridges with other people, or zip lines with other people. And
I like that part of it too. Like the working together was one of my favorite parts of the game.
Very fucking cool.
There's not a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very different. It's 100% like a very different thing. But the story was just kind of disappointing ultimately.
That's a shame. Especially with the fucking actors he has.
Dude, I know. That's the weirdest thing about this game is like some of the performances are unbelievable because you have like these amazing actors. And there's actually this monologue by Die Hard Man near the end of the game that is one of the greatest performed moments in a video games, period, full stop. The facial capture technology in that moment is just amazing. It's really well done. Mad props to Tommy Earl Jenkins for his performance near the end of that game because it's really, really good. It's really well done. And massive props to the people who developed that game, who are definitely not getting enough credit for making that game, because Kojima came forward with this crazy fucking idea. And yes, he inspired those people to work on his crazy idea, but like the level of quality by the graphic artists, by the performance capture people, by the people who created this engine, made a really beautiful looking game. And that's like the crazy thing about Death Stranding.
Oh, it looks like, gorgeous. I will not deny that for 1 second.
Unbelievable.
It's one of the better looking PS4 games. If not in like the top 5. Like it's phenomenal. But it also comes. I also thought Horizon was one of the best looking PS4 games, so it's using the Decima engine,
exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Thing. But not just that though, like it looks good, but like the facial performances, like there is no uncanny valley in this game.
It reminds me of when Rockstar made L.A. Noire and how that was like such a
But that game looked weird to me, like the facial capture, like it
does look
bold,
weird, but at the time there was nothing like that.
I agree.
I would agree with Death Stranding at this time. It's ahead of the curve with facial animation.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good. So that was really cool. I didn't feel awkward looking at those characters at all. But yeah, the thing is, like all that said, I do think everyone should play this game still. Like I still think it's because it's so weird, because it's so different, I think it's still worth playing nonetheless. No, I'm good. But I just the story got so like I just didn't matter to me at the end of that that game. It is. It's a bummer.
Did you put what 40, 50 hours into that?
I put like 80.
Oh, doctor, I wasn't ready for that.
It's a long game. It's a long game. Death Stranding was interesting. I'm glad I finished it. I uninstalled it basically right away. Once I did, I was just ready to move on. Part of me wants to go back and do some more like package deliveries because there's like some secrets that they hide in there, and that stuff looks interesting.
Were you close to the platinum at all?
No, not really.
No,
not really. I'd probably have to put another like 20-30 hours into it. I'm not interested in that.
That's too much.
Way too much.
Especially if you're not enjoying the story.
Yeah. And it also, like, this thing that it does that's so annoying, like, every time you get into BT territory, which is where, like, the aliens from the...
That's where the combat is, right?
Kind of, sometimes.
Okay.
BT is more sneaking oriented, and combat more focuses on, like, when you're dealing with mules or, like, the other transporters. The BTs are, like, the otherworldly, like, the dead ghosts, basically. And if they capture you, they fuck you up or whatever. Every time you enter BT territory... your fucking Odra deck, the little thing on your shoulder goes and like slows down and like zooms in. The camera zooms in on your Odra deck to show you that you're entering BT territory. Okay. And it does it every single time that
even if you know where it is.
Even if you're fully aware. And like this happens like 100 times in like the course of the game, and every single time the game has to stop and show you that you're entering BT territory.
Me.
So fucking irritating by the end of the game. By the same time, it's like a technical achievement, and it does crazy stuff with, online connectivity with other players. So I don't know. It's a weird game. I think everyone should play it. I don't like it. I think it's like a 6. I think it's like a 6 out of 10.
Which is different from where you started.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been like up and down, but yeah,
right.
I think I started off kind of weirdly low and confused, and I moved back up, and then I fell down near the end because I think the ending was just not good.
Got it. And then you also started a game that I have wanted to get around to, but just have failed miserably at life at getting around to this game.
Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2, I'm probably like 3 hours into it. Just started it recently. So good, so refreshing to come to after like Death Stranding, to just play a regular good game about fucking making your way through not a mansion in this case, but like this police department.
Right. Very, very structured. And this is where you need to go and what you need to do.
Not even, yeah, exactly. Like Metroidvania, like you go this way, you unlock a few things that gets you something that like lets you go back and go somewhere else.
Go do this.
And then this gets me a little bit further here, and then I come back here, and I'm slowly, going further and further into this police department. It just feels good. Just a good fucking feeling as you're avoiding zombies and threats and stuff like that. It's great. It's a gorgeous looking game. Holy fuck, Resident Evil 2 looks good.
I wish I didn't have so much shit that I have to play, because this certainly should be towards the top of the list. But I only have, the way I look at things now is I have January and February. Because once March rolls around, my life is over. But there's not really anything I care about in January or February, so I have a little bit of time to do some shit. Which this might be a perfect game to get into. But I also have Control. The Witcher is something I'm gonna want to play. Like
For sure.
I don't know where to, I don't know what, I'm so close to finishing Star Wars that...
Yeah, you should finish that.
I'm definitely finishing Star Wars, but it's
that.
like, what do I do next? Do I play Resident Evil 2? Do I play the fucking Witcher? Do I play Control? Like, what do I do next? I have no idea.
Yeah, for sure. I think Resident Evil 2 can be a shorter game is what I hear. I think you can finish it in like 8 to 10 hours is what I hear.
And maybe I do that next before I get into... The Witcher's going to take a ton of time.
Control's a little on the long side. Witcher will dominate your life. I feel like if you start playing Witcher, that's all you play until March hits, and you hope to God you get through it. You might.
Oh, here's the problem, though.
Yeah.
If The Witcher were to hook me the way Assassin's Creed did, I don't care what else comes out. Nothing else matters.
You'll just play that game
until I'm
over.
done. Until I'm done,
cool.
Nothing will matter.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But then I'm gonna miss out on like Final Fantasy VII, Doom, which I've been looking forward to for like 2 years.
It'll be there.
Animal Crossing.
It'll be waiting. Animal Crossing, I think you can start at any time because it's a 30-minute game, a 30-minute a day game. It's like
I can hop into Animal Crossing and play Witcher.
Play it on the toilet every morning, and then you go to work.
I got some difficult choices.
You do.
Most people have to worry about other things in their life, and I'm like,
what
horrible choice do I have to make with my free time?
I have to pick a game. There's too many games to pick. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough life.
Fuck America.
That's exactly what it is. Should we jump into what you've been going through, or should I go over my last one?
Just go over your last one. It's fine. Who cares?
So Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Very interesting that you jumped back into that beast.
Yeah. So I've just been hearing so much about Battlefront 2 on social media. People have been saying like it's good now.
Can I ask you a question before we dive too deep?
Ahead.
Can we get clarification? Are you playing the campaign, or have you played the campaign before? Or are you only talking about multiplayer?
I am never ever going to touch the campaign for this game. Probably.
It was fine.
I have zero interest.
It was fine.
It's fine. Yeah. I have just
very predictable.
Yeah.
The performances were fine.
I hear there's some cool moments here and there.
There are some cool there are certainly some cool moments here and there, but it is a very predictable story.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's just not like that great.
Yeah.
I hear it's kind of phoned in, the campaign. A little bit.
It's fine.
Okay, it's fine.
It's better than episode 1, 2, or 3.
How dare you? 3's good.
3.
So
I like 3.
Kate loved episode 3.
I can understand that. It is certainly
when you go from
the awfulness of 2.
That's fair.
Anything is going to look like a coming of Christ moment.
Yeah, we're almost at 3 hours. Let's not get distracted.
Holy shit!
Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Really, yeah. I just saw a lot of people on social media talking about it. And I was like, you know what? It's $12.50 on PlayStation Network.
That's pretty cheap.
Let me try it out. I'm gonna pick it up. Did so, downloaded it, and having a pretty good time. almost like I don't know if like it's the modes they added or if the maps have just gotten better. Back when I played it originally, I remember I would just die immediately every time I would spawn and be like, what the fuck is going on? I've been playing a lot of Galactic Assault and a lot of Capital Supremacy. Capital Supremacy almost feels like original Battlefront for the PS2, where you like capture points and try and like win points that way.
For context, I've played this before, but I have no fucking clue what Richard's talking about because I played this in the very beginning. It was immediately pissed off and never played it again.
Yeah, I don't know.
I beat the campaign though.
Yes, you did.
It was fine.
It was fine. But no, I've been enjoying it pretty consistently.
Let me ask you another question, because this was my problem with the campaign.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've gotten molested in the very, like, as soon as I would enter a match.
Your problem with the multiplayer.
Yeah. Like, just destroyed. Like, and this is, mind you guys, this was like week 1.
Yeah.
Like, it was very early on.
I played it 8 months ago.
And I didn't stand a fucking chance.
I played it 8 months ago and had the same exact issue.
Okay, and now it's different.
I don't know if I was playing the wrong modes before or what, but yeah, I feel like I'm able to hold my own. You have a chance. Yeah, exactly. I'm able to hold my own. I've been able to get into the gameplay loop of staying alive, getting some kills, getting some score, getting a better troop or reinforcement using him. I know, like, in terms of things they've changed since I, played or since the game came out, there's obviously no loot boxes at all. They got rid of all of those.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, so that was a major issue. So you cannot get loot boxes in this game. The only way to get cosmetics is whenever you finish a match, you get credits for how well you perform, and then you use those credits towards buying cosmetics, and that's the only way. Same thing with star cards that like were drops before that are like they improve like your regeneration of health, or like they make your grenade a little bit better.
Right, they're like almost like cheats, basically.
Effectively. So the way you earn those is every class has a level, and every time you level, you get a skill point, and you can put that towards a star card. And you can upgrade your star cards too based on how many ability points. So everything's skill based, everything's progression based.
And before those were in like loot boxes, and you would pay to get them. And all that stuff.
Exactly. So
but now it's only progression based.
100%.
Okay.
Like from top to bottom, there is no like. I don't know if you can buy anything for this game in terms of you can buy cosmetics. You can spend money
they
on
certainly
cosmetics.
brought the loot boxes back, because I do remember an announcement where they brought back loot boxes, but it might only be cosmetic stuff.
I think they're event based or something.
Are they?
Because I maybe you can buy loot boxes. Maybe you can buy loot boxes for cosmetics specifically.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm not sure.
I know that they definitely went away.
Yeah.
But I heard like a week before they were supposed to come out that they were coming back out.
Interesting. Okay. I can't get a loot box. I didn't look in the PlayStation stores to see if I can buy one.
Maybe they reversed that, but at some point they were supposed to bring back the loot boxes. So, but I think they might have been cosmetic only.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. And then right now, if you want, you can buy the Celebration edition that like unlocks all the cosmetics.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
If you pay $35 for the game right now, you just get all the cosmetics.
Get the full game plus the plus the cosmetics?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get everything.
That's pretty fucking gnarly.
So, I don't know. It seems like really generous.
Is that the version you got or no?
No. I've kind of been enjoying like earning credits in the game and then using it towards the cosmetics.
Unlocking stuff yourself.
It's been kind of fun. So I've been enjoying it. But yeah, Battlefront 2, I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think I might just keep playing it. It's a good no-commitment game.
Hey, man, that's cool. If they change some shit and it's a good game, good for them.
It's just a fun multiplayer, zero commitment. If I just feel like I have no time to play anything, I'll be like, I'll just do a round of Battlefront. And then I'll jump out.
Dude, Call of Duty?
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah. Like, a few months ago, I have a horrible problem getting addicted to things.
Speaking of Call of Duty, that's one of the ones you've been playing.
I've played, let's just go right into it.
Yeah.
A month or two, like when the game first came out, it was like, I have the day off.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything with the podcast.
Yep.
I'm going to play 6 hours of Call of Duty. Still playing a lot of Call of Duty, but it's more like I have 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I am not starting. I'm trying to finish Star Wars, but 20 minutes is not enough time for me
to do anything in Star Wars.
I need like a good hour and a half, 2 hours at least for Star Wars.
To do something that feels like worthy of your time.
And I haven't had that lately. So I've been playing more Call of Duty because it's like I got fucking 10 minutes. I got 20 minutes. I get 2-3 rounds in a Call of Duty, and then I got to go do whatever else I got to do.
Yeah.
Fucking great for that, by the way. The Battle Pass is utter fucking shit in the fact that there's 100 tiers.
Matt, I love this because Matt has never had to deal with a battle pass. So like his first time dealing with one, he's livid right now.
Right. I don't think I had the chance I talked to Richard about it, but I don't think I talked about this on the podcast before.
No, you didn't.
The battle pass cost $10. I did not spend $10 in the game, but I purchased like special editions of Call of Duty in the past, and for whatever goddamn reason, I had like, I don't know, 25,000 or 2,500 Call of Duty points, and it takes 1,000 Call of Duty points to buy a battle pass.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
And I wasn't using these fucking things for anything because
like,
I never
not?
spend my money on this shit.
I'll put it on the battle pass.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
And now there's some things you unlock for free, like characters, like operators they call them.
Yeah.
And certain weapons blueprints, so you know how to get like, I guess it's like a better version of the weapon, like how to spec out the weapon so it's more powerful. You get those for free if you don't pay for the battle pass, but you play the game enough. If you pay for the battle pass, then you get all this extra stuff for free, which is fine. But there's 100 goddamn tiers. Yeah. And I calculated that it takes me about approximately, roughly 10 matches to get through one tier. Yes. And that's at least, I would say it takes 2 to 3 matches is like a half an hour. So you're talking about maybe 2 hours for every tier. Yeah. So let's say 2 hours times 100. Yeah, 200 hours. Yeah. And then you have 2 months to do it for that.
Yeah, you got to pay 200 hours in 2 months.
Who the fuck has 200 hours?
14-year-olds.
Not me.
Yeah, it's not for you.
I'm glad that I didn't spend my $10 on this battle pass. Yeah. I still have over 1,000 Call of Duty points, and I will certainly use that for another battle pass because I have nothing else to use it on. Yeah, definitely. But I'm never going to give them my money for that shit.
Here's what a battle pass is. It's an alternative to loot boxes, which are straight gambling. It's a way to keep people invested in playing your game. I think it's fine if your game is free to play. I don't think it's cool to ask for $10 extra for a progression system when you already paid $60.
Activision's excuse would be, we're giving you the maps for free, which is true. Okay. You're not paying for the maps this time.
Yeah, sure.
So I can kind of understand that. I'm trying to be a little bit more like...
Fortnite gives me everything for free. But Apex Legends gives me everything for free too. I get free maps there too.
This is the problem. Yeah. The free maps, fine, whatever. Yeah. Okay. When you have a battle pass and you have things that you're unlocking with guns, even if you're giving the guns away for free, the investment in time is eventually going to create a point where you have some gun that has a better buff than any of the other guns that I missed out on.
Oh, really?
And that I can no longer unlock.
Wait. So like the battle pass unlocks like skill-based things? It's not all cosmetic?
No, there are there are fucking gun blueprints in the thing that you can't get.
Dirty, dude.
And now those are free. They've already told you anyone can unlock them.
Okay, got it.
But it's the investment in time that I do not have. Yeah. So you may be able to get guns that I can never get because that battle pass expired. I didn't have the time to put in 100 fucking hours to get all the guns in the game, even if it was free. I didn't have the time to do it.
Okay, so you're more upset with like this progression-based way of like unlocking weapons.
Right. There's permanent things that are going to exist in the game that some players have that others do not. Okay, which is going to create a disparity. Yeah. If I'm not saying there's a gun right now that's that disparaging.
But here's the thing, like,
but there could be.
The battle pass lasts how long?
2 months.
Oh, never mind.
It's 60 days. Yeah, you have 60 days to progress 100 levels, so you need to put Again, this is just a projection. Yeah. Approximately 200 fucking hours into the game in 60 days. Yeah.
It's kind of scandalous, and it's a major issue with did your PC die?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, it's a major issue with just like the monetization practices that a lot of these multiplayer games have.
It's just don't put the guns in there.
Listen, Matt.
The operators, who gives a shit? Your cosmetic stuff, who gives a shit? Get the fucking games out, or the guns out of there.
You could have bought Warhawk and avoided all of this. Warhawk is a great game. It doesn't have any of the shit. You just get everybody has the same weapons.
What a rough entry going back to something like that. My God, I'd rather have played like Perfect Dark. Remember Perfect Dark on Xbox 360?
That game's dog shit.
What a great underrated.
Tell me the shows that you watched. Game. I can't listen to this anymore. What shows did you watch over the break?
Let's see.
I want to talk about Witcher.
Okay.
Because you started Witcher, and I tried to start Witcher.
Really?
I tried, and I couldn't get it.
I am on episode 5 or 6.
Before we get into it, did you have as much of an issue with the first 20 minutes of the first episode that I did?
not to sound like that guy,
yeah,
it gets better.
That's what I keep hearing. But can you agree that the first 20
not
minutes
a great start.
Of the first episode of that show
when he kills that thing and like...
Well, that's cool. That was cool. That was okay. It was them talking about a bunch of shit that nobody knows about for like 20 minutes straight. They're just saying terms from like the world. I was like, what are you doing?
You pick up on... It all makes sense later on. The problem becomes later, Richard.
Yeah.
The timeline fucking jumps.
That's what I hear.
And it is
I've heard about
jarring.
That. Yeah, I've heard about that.
It is like, whoa.
Yeah.
How much fucking time has passed? And they have one character that relays this information to you. They're not specific,
is it
but it almost seems like it's almost a fucking decade that has passed.
Oh, really?
And it's like, so you went from here to here.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that's, like, to me, that was the most jarring thing in that show, where it was very difficult to overcome.
So I know the show is like is retelling like the story of the books, and for a while in the books, Geralt is just kind of doing his own thing.
That's pretty common throughout most of it.
So I think like they wanted to show you these other characters that are going to be huge institutions to the story later on. But Geralt doesn't see them until way fucking later. I think that's probably why.
That's true.
Yeah.
So far from what I've seen, the overarching story is extremely slow.
Yeah.
And these mini stories they're spending entire episodes about one thing. Geralt has to, kill this one monster.
Yeah.
And they've kind of built it up that way. Like, we're going to go on an adventure for this episode, which is great, because if you're watching one episode, you can go on an adventure with him and kind of get what the fuck's happening.
And enjoy yourself on that. But
the overarching line is very drawn out over these. Even though there's only 8 episodes, it's very slow.
And it sounds like it's very messy in the way that they like show it to you.
It's just when the time passes and and it feels like it's almost a decade, when they try to portray that to you, it's like, holy fuck, like you're trying to like wrap your head around what happened between specific characters without trying to give away, what happens. You're like, well, what the fuck happened over that period of time? Mm-hmm. How are they where they're at right now?
Yeah.
And I think they might show you like a little bit of that, but there's still not a lot of context.
Okay.
And here's the other problem. There's a character that Geralt is connected to. That's his destiny, right? And they talk about this very early on, so I'm not really giving away a lot of spoilers.
Is it Yennefer?
No.
Is it Ciri?
Maybe.
Okay, it's Ciri. Yeah, I knew it was one of the two.
And that is clearly like the overarching story, but that is clearly also on the back burner.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, this is the slow burn that's going to take a very long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're going to put these other things in here, like, to fill in the context of the story.
Ciri is, like, her story doesn't resolve until, like, Witcher 3.
Okay, and I'm on like Witcher 1.
No, you're on
like the prequels.
You're on Witcher. You're on Witcher -5 right now, because there's like 6 books that lead up into Witcher. So the books all take place.
Oh, there's that many books.
There's 6 books, and they all take place before Witcher 1, and Witcher 1 is the first thing that takes place after the books.
Look, that being said, I think the actors are fucking great. I love the actors.
Yeah. Cavill seems like he's really excited about this role and loves the world and stuff. So, which is cool.
He's a great looking dude. He's a great looking dude.
There's no denying it.
Straight man.
Yeah.
He's a good fucking looking dude.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy. Absolutely.
The one who got played Yennefer. She's a good looking chick.
Good looking people in this show.
It's good. It's fine.
Good faces.
Good faces.
Good faces.
And they're all acting very well.
Yeah.
And I like the story. And the benchmark for me is always my wife, because she's way more critical than I'm.
Yeah, for sure.
If she doesn't like something in the first, she's fucking done.
She's out. Yeah.
We're on episode 5.
So she's been enjoying it?
And she's ready for the rest.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And I'm right there with her.
Well, you know what it is, right? Your wife is Polish, and these are Polish stories. So
that might help.
She's
Dude, Henry Cavill is also fucking awesome.
That's
like, I think that was a big help. We're like, I can watch this.
I can look at this guy.
Yeah, I can watch.
Easy to look
at.
Easy on the eyes. Yeah, he for sure is.
But I think your episode 1 isn't the greatest. But
I want to get through it, because I do want to watch the show.
Get through it.
Because I hear like the fight scene in that first episode, near the end, the back half is supposed to be.
You need to finish one?
I can't even finish it. I got through 20 minutes. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Everyone needs to just stop. Like, I know.
Oh, it gets better, Richard.
And I knew what they were talking. The worst part was.
I'm not even going to say one. Get through like 2 episodes and you'll be like, okay, I'm on board.
Okay, for sure. And it's crazy though, because like, I know as someone who's read the books and played the game, like I knew. The books too? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I knew what they were talking about. I just couldn't believe how poorly they were deciding to explain things to me. I was
maybe
like, what
that's another reason why I like it so much is because I have not read the book.
So maybe it helps.
I have not played
maybe
the game.
Maybe it helps. Yeah, maybe it helps because you don't know what's going on. So you're like, okay, I'm listening. Whereas I'm like, why are you telling me? Like,
I think
it felt like a waste of time.
If you just played the game, you might like it more.
But having
reading
read
the books is going to be a huge, like, you know, a bigger hurdle for you to get over.
Yeah, because I know so much, I guess.
Exactly.
And I'm watching them retell this stuff. I think I just need to get through the first 2 episodes, and I think it'll be fine from there. And it sounds like the way, from what I hear, season one wraps up such that like they're not going to do the weird timeline shit going forward.
I hope not.
Apparently, it's going to be all just
after 5 episodes. That was the worst thing that I've incurred. Was that fucking weird jump in time.
That's strange. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
But you're baffled because you have no fucking clue what has happened. You have no idea.
Matt, you also watched another show.
I did. I finally finished The Mandalorian.
This is the way.
This is the way. What a fucking series. Jesus Christ. Look, this isn't the highest budget Star Wars thing I've ever seen, and I don't need it to be. Keep giving me more. It's
still one of the best Star Wars stories that I've ever seen.
I'm loving everything about it. Everything.
Yeah.
There was one episode where I was like, this was fine. But all the other episodes were like, fuck yeah, dude.
People were complaining a lot that like this season had too many episodes where like
there was only 8?
8 episodes, and they're like nothing happened when it was just really just about
they built a foundation. That's what happened.
You also have to show the world. Like it's okay if like the episode doesn't focus completely on like the main plot, the A plot. If they show you something compelling and interesting. Something we got to see in the Bill Burr episode is
That was the third to the last.
Yeah, third to the last. Is New Republic ships. Something that the fucking new trilogy showed you none of.
That was a cool episode. Out of all the Mandalorian episodes, that episode was the most different out of the rest of them.
Yeah, 100%. It all took place on that ship. Like that was really cool.
They were in that jail. The ship was like a jail too.
Yeah, it was a jail ship, yeah. And then at one point, you just realize, you're like, oh, I'm watching a monster movie. Because the Mandalorian is just hunting, and the Mandalorian is the monster. Like, this is fucking awesome. He's just hunting these motherfuckers down.
And the music is so good.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
Dude, like, that is something that people were complaining about the music.
What?
I don't know.
There was people complaining about the music?
People saying it doesn't, I don't know. I saw people on Twitter.
See, I'm not that deep into the nerd community of Star Wars. I love Star Wars, but I'm not all in your shit.
Let's leave it alone because people on Twitter complain about fucking anything and everything. The thing I want to say
about the music.
They are. The thing I want to say about the music is like it is the first Star Wars music I've heard that isn't trying so hard to be John Williams, but still feels
pulling
Star
it
Wars.
off.
Yeah, and it still feels Star Wars. It's its own musical style.
It's great.
That also still feels Star Wars, and that's so cool for Mandalorian. And that it does that. That show is fucking awesome. I love it to death.
The last 2 episodes were excellent.
Dude.
I don't know why it took me so long to get around to it. I think it was just, I was busy. It was like Christmas season at work, which is the worst season for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I finally got around to it. Like, I think it was after Christmas that I watched those 2. And I watched them episode 7.
Yeah.
Like a night before I went to bed, like before Claudia was in there. I was dying to watch 8, but I waited till the next day. And when I watched 8, I was like, oh my God, it was so good.
They go together so well. I think that something that's so cool, and I don't want to spoil anything, but something that's so cool about The Mandalorian is because it doesn't focus on Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, any of these main characters that like you're not allowed to fuck around with.
Right.
Mandalorian can do whatever it wants with its characters, and it does. Like you never know what's going to happen in The Mandalorian because you think somebody's there for the long haul.
Right, and they're showing you like planets you've never been to. Like you don't know, you really don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great that like the show is able to surprise you so much.
I have to mention one thing.
Of course.
The fucking enemy that shows up in 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I was like, oh fuck.
Did you know who he was in the show?
Oh yeah, I know. I had no idea he was in The Mandalorian. And when I saw him, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Fucking baller actor, man.
Yeah.
Baller.
Yeah, there's so many implications as to like how he knows the Mandalorians. One thing I wanted to mention that is really cool that you might not know about because you didn't watch Clone Wars, the animated series.
I did not watch Clone Wars at all.
So in Clone Wars, the animated series, there is Mandalore, the Mandalorian's planet, is a peaceful planet. And it is there is a subset, like a radical group that exists within Mandalore who's like, fucking, we're not about that. That's not what Mandalorians are about. That's not who we used to be. Was that mine?
No, it was mine.
That was yours. Like that's not who we were. Like that's not who we originally were. And we want to be like a warlike people. And this is called like the Death Watch. And they play a big role in the Clone Wars. And in that flashback sequence where they show him as a kid and who saves him, it's fucking Death Watch. So it's cool to see them like taking this Clone Wars stuff and like wrapping it into Mandalorian. What's going on? Are we okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. But yeah, I'm super happy with that show. I can't wait for fucking season 2.
Fuck, I don't think I was the right person. I'll figure that message out later.
But yeah, I'm excited for Mandalorian season 2. I'm amped.
Yes,
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm definitely stoked for season 2. Ready for that shit.
Matt, we're at 3 hours 14 minutes. Is there anything else you want to bring up for what you've been watching and playing? What do you got?
While we're on the subject of Star Wars, let's go to Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order.
Okay. So
I've been playing it more.
Yes.
I'm almost to the end, according to Richard.
So you.
I don't want to ruin that part, so let's not mention where I'm at.
Have you met Taron Malicos yet?
I don't remember.
He's a shirtless guy.
Don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
That doesn't ring a bell.
All right, that's fine. You would know him. Give me some updated impressions. You're getting pretty close to finishing it. You got like maybe another like 5-6 hours.
So this
maybe
game took me a real long time to get used to the combat, but I finally like.
Do you feel like you're just?
I got it.
You know it.
I got it. The pairing was fucking bizarre, dude.
Yeah.
It is not. I'm still going to tell you this. The combat is not great.
Yeah,
it's not. It is passable.
Well,
is
Matt,
what it is.
as a Soulsborne fan, watching this game try and be a Soulsborne, it's not great. It doesn't do a good job.
Right. And
it doesn't do a great job.
If they touch it up in the sequel, man, I can't wait for that sequel.
100%.
I love the story. I love the actors so far. I'm like close to the very end of the game. I'm digging everything about it. I like the Metroidvania styles.
Yep,
they do need to fix the map.
They need to fast travel.
They need to fast travel for sure, because if you're going to build a level as big as fucking Zephos and make me travel from one side to the other, no, I'm not going to 100% your game.
It's huge. It's
too much.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And the combat they need to tweak. I'm not saying they need to fucking crazily like change it, but like they need to fix it.
They need to polish it. It needs to be, if you want to have Dark Souls combat, it needs to be as polished as Dark Souls. Simple as that.
Right. There shouldn't be some points where I hit block and block will choose to work or it won't.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Right. And my parry, if it might work the same way I hit it last time, but sometimes it might not.
Yeah.
They need to fix those things.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's fucking great.
I had a really great time. That's probably up there as one of my games of the year. Alongside, I still have to play a few more games, but that and Control are definitely my highlights of the year so far for 2019. Really good game.
Those were your two favorite?
Yeah, I think Resident Evil 2 is going to end up being pretty high up.
Should we discuss this now or just wait till later?
I want to wait until I've played everything I want to play, because I want to play Outer Wilds. I want to finish Outer World. So yeah, there's some other stuff I want to finish.
Cool. So I also saw a film called Little Women.
Okay.
My wife Claudia asked me to go see this film.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law wanted to go see it.
I think it's the writer of Lady Bird.
Sure.
Matt, did you like Little Women?
The movie was apparently 2 hours long. I swear to God it was 6.
Why don't you tell me?
Look, the story was fine, but it was utterly boring. It was such a boring story. And it was about, women, obviously.
Yeah.
It was about, women standing up to men like controlling a world and stuff like that, which I understand.
It's about women like trying to make their voices heard within like a very patriarchal society, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The actresses were fine. Meryl Streep was in there barely.
Oh, really? Just barely?
Dude, I think they like slapped her name on it to be like, oh look, Meryl Streep's in there. She was like a very small role in the film.
They just wanted to get some eyes on it.
It was mostly about these like 4 sisters.
Yeah. These little women. Timothy Champagne is in
fine.
He's the guy with the hair. He has like big hair.
I won't say that it was. It was
he
not
looks like a twink.
It was not. It was not a bad film.
Okay, it's a well put together movie. It's just not.
It was not a good film.
Why not?
It was boring.
What did Claudia think of Little Women?
The same.
Oh, she didn't like it too much either?
It's fine. It was a film. Her mom fell asleep, and she was the one who wanted to go to see it. So there you have it. That's Little Women.
Little Women.
I know that's what you guys are pining for out of us, is these critical reviews of amazing films.
Is this what we're ending the podcast on?
No.
What else you got?
Some throwbacks, just real quick.
All right.
I did play some Rock Band 4. Fuck, give me that shit.
Rock
so
Band
good
4?
harmonics. I love y'all.
Miss you, harmonics.
Still, just so you know, because most people aren't going to be aware. If you listen to this, here's a fun fact.
What?
Still adding songs to Rock Band 4.
Is that true?
Billie Eilish is on there.
Matt loves Billie Eilish.
I do.
I don't know what it is. Matt's got like a love for her music.
She's an amazing artist.
Okay.
And you can judge me all the fuck you want. She is one of my favorite artists probably in the past decade that I've heard.
You will never be Gen X.
Look, there. Gen X did something different, and Billie Eilish is doing something different.
Don't try to tell me Billie Eilish.
She is doing something different with
Gen
pop
X,
music, man.
I'm gonna slap you so hard.
Dude, she is like the alternative to pop music.
Oh man. No, she is like pop music. Everyone loves her. She's pop music.
She's pop music, but different.
That's Lady Gaga. That's Madonna.
No, I didn't pay attention to that.
You didn't pay attention to Madonna?
Madonna, sure.
Yeah. So
sure.
She's like Madonna.
She's different, man. I don't know. I like her music quite a lot.
But
anyways,
I'm happy for you.
There's still no music on Rock Band 4. I played
That's
it.
cool.
I
That
played
is
it
pretty
for the
crazy.
New Year.
I didn't know that.
It was fucking awesome. I still love Rock Band 4. I'll still
Yeah.
go back and play that once in a while. The other game I played was Super Mario Brothers 3 with my wife.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It took me 3 times of us playing that game to figure out how to save it correctly. So thanks, Nintendo, for making that real fucking easy, because it wasn't. I have NES controllers, and they don't have all the buttons that a Pro controller does.
Okay, got it.
And there's no quick way to save on an NES controller. So they kind of fuck you.
Are you playing? What are you playing it on? Like your NT or like?
No, I'm playing on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
And I'm playing, like, if you have Switch Online, you have like the NES.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm playing in there.
Yeah.
But I also paid to have wireless NES controllers that are made for the Switch.
But you need like an actual controller with actual buttons to do the share.
There's like an extra button to save with.
Yeah.
And there's no easy way to do that on the NES controllers. So, kind of a pain in the ass, Nintendo, that I had to pull out a different controller to save my fucking game.
Yeah, kill yourself, Nintendo.
Otherwise, goddamn Super Mario Brothers 3. What
really
a fucking game.
Never played
No
it.
way. What?
Super Mario Brothers.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Big fan of Super Mario Brothers. Never played 2 or 3. Played Super Mario World.
You don't even understand. Look, 2. Oh man, 2 is the most underrated, underappreciated Super Mario Brothers game ever.
It's not even Super Mario Brothers. It's a different game.
It's a great game.
It's a different game reskinned with other characters. I'll never play it.
Howard Phillips was the gentleman that was the head of Nintendo. He made a choice to not bring Super Mario Brothers 2 to the United States.
Yeah.
He left that in Japan and told them, you need to come up with something new. That's why we got Doki Doki Panic as Super Mario Brothers 2. Shout out to you, Howard Phillips, because no one's listening to this, especially you, Howard Phillips. But thank you for giving us Super Mario Brothers 2 and not the game that Japan got, because you made the right choice.
Thank you, Howard Phillips.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is one of the greatest Super Mario
That's
Brothers
what
games of all time.
I hear that all the time.
Jesus Christ, Richard.
Yeah, I never played it. It's. I will say, whenever I look at that game, I'm like, wow, that's an NES game, because it looks amazing.
I understand the love for Super Mario World. It's probably a superior game.
Yeah.
Everything that laid the groundwork for that was in Mario Brothers 3.
What about Super Mario Brothers?
Mario Brothers 3 was like, it was like, cool, Mario Brothers 1. And then it was like, okay, cool. Like, if you follow the timeline, if you're realistic about things, every step was a step above the next.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. I love Super Mario Brothers. I'm sure I'd love 3. I just never have.
Oh my god, it's so good. The
I've
whistles,
never
you don't know
played
where the whistles are hidden, Richard. Do you know you don't know where the whistles are hidden?
What are whistles? I remember
how you warp in Mario Brothers 3. You need to collect the whistles.
And For our final segment tonight, guys, Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD Challenge 2 coming soon.
Sure.
We don't have it yet.
No.
We don't have it because we have the hiatus and everything. We just don't have anything for
Right. We're just going to wait.
But Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD Challenge 2, it's going to be real. It'll have stakes this time.
Get hype.
Get hyped. Maybe that's what Dual Action Hyper Turbo HD Challenge is. It's just about the hype of the challenge.
Right, the hype of the challenge.
There is no challenge. It's the hype of it.
Maybe there is a challenge, though.
There is for sure. There's
maybe.
There's going to be stakes. There's going to be
maybe
cool sound effects.
Something we're allergic to.
There's going to, fuck yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Play with,
fire.
Russian roulette.
Or we'll have Matt like take a fork and stick it in a socket.
Wouldn't be the first time. Science.
You guys, thank you so much for listening to us on this extra long podcast. We apologize that we're not going to be here for a little while.
Sorry about the delay, but Richard has some things he needs to take care of.
Personal life stuff. I gotta move. Medically, I got with the herpes that we mentioned at the top of the podcast. It's out of control. That's why I always stay behind my mic, is to hide the rampant herpes that's going on. I'm like going higher so they can see that I don't have herpes. I really don't though. And Matt, where can we find you?
At from NJ2CA. The 2 is a number 2.
That's on Twitter.
That's on Twitter, and I lost 2 followers recently.
Why?
Because I don't fucking ever do anything.
Okay.
People hate me.
Oh, no one hates you. They just
I don't communicate
Matt,
well.
it's
with
worse
others.
than hate. They just don't care.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I'll accept
that felt mean. That felt too mean. They love you, Matt. They just don't know. They just don't realize how great you are.
It's fine.
That's what it is. I am at Richard Eiley on Twitter. RichardIlie. And you can follow us at Nerdthusiast,
Which is our brand's account.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get all our updates and polls and timestamps for the latest episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, if you want to stay abreast as to when we're coming back and things like that,
follow that.
the Nerdthusiast account on Twitter. That's where you're going to hear the most up-to-date information.
Exactly. So we'll keep that updated. We'll keep running social media presence via Nerdthusiast, at Nerdthusiast on Twitter. So follow us. And
like, subscribe, share.
Yes. All
ring bells.
Any bells, ring them.
Yep.
Ring-a-ling. Ding-a-ling, it's Christmas time in the city.
Bye.
So long, guys.
I love my power glove. It's so bad.
What do you want to be? Pick a lane, bitch.